And ahoy, my friends. Welcome back to another Call of Cthulhu Friday. How the fuck are we all going? Who have we got in chat? We have AJC Stomp. We don't need to worry about M2 because he's in the voice call. We have Smithy, Blue Collar Gaming, and Drake Starstorm, and my good friend Mez. How the fuck are you guys going? Oh, and we have Mel as well. You sneaky Mel. I did not see you enter the stream. How the hell are you all going, my dear friends? Really hoping today is the day I actually draw something. Oh, Drake, I know you can do it. I know you can do it. Mel, you are sneaky as hell. And why can't I open my drink? Probably because I've been at the gym all day and my arms are spaghetti. Oh, jeez. Hello.
As we make our way to heaven.
We got Taylor Woody. Thank you so much for the follow. I believe that is over on the Twitch side. Yes. Oh, you Kale, welcome to the Twitch side as well. Sorry, I did not have Restream chat on. Be with you in a second. Oh, what's your matter, kitties? Sorry, that was my drink was getting the best me. Can we duet stream? Are you talking about the whole TikTok thing? I suppose we can. And yes, hashtag long live Big Dave. Big Dave is back, and we'll see if we can kill him this stream. Anyway, enough blabbering. Let's get into it, my friendos. Yeah. Oh my fucking god, what did I walk into with that gif?
Yeah, Pete, damn it.
Jesus!
That's Scaly Pete deciding what to add to the gumbo next.
Oh my fucking god!
Don't worry, his sanity has always been as intact as it's ever been.
Yeah, keep telling yourself that.
Yes.
Any gumbo and burnt beard hair.
Alright,
this is how we shave down the bayou now.
Before we... Oh, jeez.
Yep, before we begin.
Hold on. Bedhainer, thank you so much for the follow, and welcome to the Metal Crew. Before we start, Smithy wanted me to say hello to everyone in the chat.
Hey,
Hello,
Smithy.
Smithy.
And
hello there.
and
Nice to meet you again, Smithy.
and everyone's excited for more Big Dave.
Yes,
Big Dave!
we could
Yay.
hashtag long live Big Dave there in the chat.
They are excited.
Big Dave is happy to have my back.
Let's hope that if anyone dies today, it's the Professor or Clark Kent, and not Big Dave.
Yeah, anyone but Big Dave. Big
Not the
Dave is
Professor!
Like
But
the
then-
reporter for
But
once.
then
Like,
Big
I
Dave will
want
be
to
sad
survive
because he will
6 hours.
lose all his friends.
All right, that was a big clusterfuck of voices.
Yeah, that was M1 and Dave talking at the same time and just kind of.
I heard Dave say, Big Dave doesn't like losing his friends.
Aww.
The Professor shall live.
Big Dave almost went to his big grave, which was a big save. Thank God.
Blue Collar Gaming says Big Dave is bae.
Aw. Wow, look at you go. I'm just gonna sit over here with my filthy gumbo pot.
Definitely not Mel says hashtag Big Dave's Lives Matter.
Only Big Dave.
Only
Big Dave
Oh my
dies with
god,
Wyatt.
what is with all the praise for Big Dave?
They love him.
And
Representing the less
Crazy.
able.
and Drake Starstorm, Big Dave is the true MVP.
Aw. Look at that go.
All right, we need to get
I'm tearing up a little here.
we need to get some Big Dave chibi art going on here, and I can merchandise this shit.
Big Dave good.
Big Dave merch, Big Dave merch.
Big Dave good.
Next week's episode can just be titled Scaly Pete and Big Dave.
Big,
Go to
big,
Disneyland!
Big Dave's Disneyland adventure.
I went to Disneyland in Florida once. They kicked me out because apparently you couldn't get gumbo on the Small World ride.
Oh no!
It's
Big
okay.
Dave's gumbo.
We will go to Japan Disneyland.
All right.
Okay, those guys
Right.
allow every
All right,
year.
hold on. Before we continue, okay. Blue Collar Gaming, Scaly Pete just smells. Smithy, Big Dave is life. Big Dave is love. Kitty on Twitch is Big Dave. Big Dave. Now everyone's chanting Big Dave.
Okay.
Bash's on Bash's table. Big Dave.
Saga of Big Dave continues in episode 2. Of
Oh my
Day of
god,
the
who
Beast.
changed the name to Big Dave Fan Club?
When this episode has been cancelled, tonight is all just
Big Dave.
Dave's funny
It is officially
adventure.
Big Dave Appreciation Night.
Oh my god.
Saga of Big Dave continues in tonight's episode. The Thing in the Well is
What's that, Lassie?
February.
Big Dave fell in the well?
better get him out.
Nope.
Is February 1928, almost 5 months since last week's episode. You rescued Paul Lamond from his unwilling institutionalization, and you uncovered an ancient plot by the race of Yith and their so-called servants, the Brotherhood. Entered a new year, and it's been some time since you heard anything about that horrible business. Until each of you receives separately in the mail a audio tape.
I was about to say
in
there's
an
no video.
envelope.
Is there any videotapes
Yep.
in the 1920s?
Honestly,
No,
I'm more
there's not.
impressed they managed to find somewhere to mail the fucking Scaly Pete, because that guy doesn't.
It's like a really
still.
big effing reel.
Yeah, well, no, you were just handed yours by a courier who looked like he was really out of his depth and wanted to get out of there as soon as possible.
I have been searching for you for 6 months. What the hell?
Inside the envelope is an audio tape and a short letter written by Paul's mother, Irene Lamond, stating that she's following up on the promise she made to record his dreams / premonitions
yeah, I forgot
and
all about that.
send them to you. Yes. And so you guys listen to this tape that she has sent you, and although most of the tape is filled with incoherent mumblings, portions of it are understandable. Aside from the usual dreams about the arrival of the beast and his time among the great race of Yith, there is one dream where Paul mutters in an anguished voice, "The children will die. The children will die. It's the trail of the beast in Boston. Children will die in Boston." Strikes you as
Oh, I'm sorry to
Odd, but-
interrupt again. One of my people in Twitch party, it's his birthday today, so everyone wish him a happy birthday.
happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Hey, Dave, wish you a happy birthday.
Alright, now we can continue.
This dream is odd and a bit disturbing, but it's not really out of the ordinary for the strange nightmares that Paul Lamond has been having. That is, until later that week, true to Paul's predictions, 3 young children are horribly murdered on the streets of Boston. You read about it in the newspaper, and you find that all were from the slums and on the streets late at night when the atrocities occurred. The murders were committed separately, one every other day over the space of a week. Police have now urged parents to keep their children in at night as they continue their investigation. And so, knowing that something horrible must be afoot, you each set out for Boston, determined to get to the bottom of this, although you can't shake the feeling that it is merely a continuation of the horrors you went through 4 months ago. So, several days later, you all meet in Boston in the parking lot of a 2-star hotel on the outskirts of one of the outer suburbs.
Yes. Hello, my good fellows. Fancy seeing you here again. We're all being called together again.
Big Dave, give big hugs.
Oh, yes, Big Dave. I'm glad to see you're still with us.
And
Big
with that,
Dave.
Big Dave lunges forward and gives the professor a big hug.
Lose one d10
Roll
Sam.
Constitution. 3 cracked ribs and lose 4 HP.
I'm an old man. Be gentle.
Yes, good.
Big Dave knows how to be gentle.
So you're all... I don't need to explain your motives for being here. We all know why you're here. You know after last time that there's something big going on, and you're here to try to stop it if you can. Although Clark Kemp, our intrepid journalist, has an ulterior motive. He isn't so much concerned about putting this horrible plot to rest. He merely wants to discover the truth about what lies beyond human understanding and find out what has caused the disappearances of several journalists in his line of work. And perhaps he will get one step closer to that today's episode. Okay, so you have several options to begin your investigation with as you greet each other in the parking lot. You can head to the library to conduct some research on these child murders. You can go and visit the Boston police station and perhaps speak to the detective in charge. Or, of course, for Clark Kemp, you can visit the offices of the Boston Globe and speak to the reporter who has published the articles in the recent week about these murders.
I think
Big Dave will go see night policeman.
I think the professor would like to do some research in the library. He's had far too much excitement recently.
Yes. About Scaly Pete.
Scanner people want to go to the library. No other reason.
Library. Yep.
Getting
Free
up,
bed.
take a nap.
And finally, Clark Kemp. What line of research would you like to begin with?
Oh, I'm thinking I might have to go visit my old acquaintances that I have at the local newspaper. I
Well.
think we may be able to procure some information in regards to my lost colleagues. Because remember, the last time we found my colleagues, well, they weren't really found. They were ripped from limb, scattered amongst most of the wreckage. So we need to find them.
My
We need
word.
to find out what's going on.
Well
Let's
done.
go.
That's a good line of inquiry. So we will first visit.
I wrote it down.
We will first visit the Boston police station with Big Dave.
Oh god.
We're holding hands down the street.
Go by himself.
Big Dave Sunshine.
Fine.
Big Dave should be fine.
Oh, yeah,
all
you
right.
got this. We believe in you, Big
It's
Dave.
Big Dave by himself. Anyone on Twitch, this is going to be pure clip moments.
Yep.
Out of curiosity, with Big Dave, they just have sympathy on him and just give him the information anyway.
That's entirely possible that will happen. Yeah,
He's a darling.
he's lovable. He's a lovable half-wit. They might, take
Let
pity
him
on
shoot
him.
the shotguns at the criminals.
Oh, here you go,
Same.
buddy.
Here you
Just
go.
Same,
Yeah,
Would perhaps-
get him, Tiger.
just the same. Would Scaly Pete or the Professor perhaps like to postpone their trip to the library and accompany
do
Scaly?
both?
And accompany. Yeah, you can do both. You can visit the police station now and then go to the library afterward. It's entirely doable.
Yeah.
Big Dave is okay by himself.
Let's get it,
Professor
Big
and
No, I think I'd rather go to the library.
Scared
All right.
Pete, don't do no well with the authorities. Always get on Scared Pete. Don't sleep
All right,
in bed.
so
Don't
yep,
pee behind that
Dave's
fire.
going on his own. Right, so you head to the main police precinct in Boston, just on the edge of downtown. It's an old Gothic-looking building, gargoyles flanking the front entrance. Possibly used to be some kind of museum or civil government building that's in recent decades been converted into a police station. Dave, however, is not in the least unnerved by the imposing building before him and enters the lobby carefree. As you enter the lobby, you notice several citizens, a woman wearing a brown dress and her husband, along with a large blue collar looking man sitting in the lobby, waiting to be spoken to. At the reception desk, you see. At the reception desk, you see a young woman in a light blue blouse currently speaking to an elderly bearded man. What would Big Dave like to do?
Big Dave would like to wave to everyone and say, "Hi, friends!"
You wave to everyone and greet everyone in the lobby. The woman and her husband just look up at you, and their gaze lingers on you for a few moments, and then they lower their heads. The large blue-collar man looks at you, looking slightly unnerved, and out of the corner of his eye, he looks towards the counter, the reception counter, as if willing the receptionist to hurry up and speak to him. The reception looks over at you and she gives a smile and says, "Just take a seat. I'll be with you as soon as we can."
Okay, ma'am.
You
Dave,
sit
next to blue collar man.
you sit next to the blue collar man. As you sit down next to the blue collar man, he fidgets just a little, and then he looks at you. Every time you look at him, he looks away, and then he reaches for one of the old magazines on the table next to the chair and begins flicking through it. But you can tell that he's not really interested because this is a woman's fashion magazine.
Big Dave will offer him some gum as a polite gesture.
I would like you
Takes
to
the
make
gum
a-
out of your mouth.
Who would like you to make a charm check, please?
Hold on. I've got you actually. Roll. 1D. That is pass.
Yay!
You reach into your pocket and you pull out a stick of gum and you offer it to him, saying, maybe...
God.
maybe
God.
perhaps he could use something to occupy himself a bit more than that magazine. He seems to hesitate at first, but then he smiles and he takes it and he says, "Oh, gee, that's mighty kind of you." He puts the gum into his mouth and he begins to chew and he looks you up and down and says, "Got quite the physique there on you, boy. Are you a factory worker or a lumberjack or something like that?"
Big Dave used to work in the lumberjack yards. Big Dave used to cut down lots of trees. Big Dave don't speak so well now that the big tree fell on his head.
He says, he lowers his head and he says, "Well, ain't that a shame? Well, you know, I'm an assembly line worker myself, and some of the things I've seen happen to some of the folk working in the factory, and see so many fit men lose their limbs, lose their minds, lose their sanity just so the managers can make a few bucks. You know what I mean?"
Big Dave knows what you mean.
You while away the next 20 minutes or so talking to the man, and he tells you that he is a local assembly line worker who's come to report a petty crime to the police. Apparently, he works in a meat deboning and processing factory, and earlier this week there was an attempted break-in. Somebody smashed the lock in one of the freezer warehouses and made off with the strange objects. They made off with a crate of defeathered but not yet processed chickens.
Scaly Pete, was that you?
He shrugs and he says, "And I'm the one who draw the short straw. Had to lose a day of paid work so I can come down here and wait hours for them to finally speak to me."
Big Dave is actually in Boston with some friends. We are quite good at investigating strange occurrences. Big Dave would like to offer you our services free of charge.
The man shrugs
Jesus.
and he says, "Well, given that the police here seem to be rather busy, what with you know, everything going on in the past week, maybe that might be what we need. I'll be sure to pass it on to the foreman. I'll let him know that there's some people out there might be willing to offer their services."
Yeah, I walked there for 5 seconds. Did I miss anything? I assume I did with big old Dave.
Just
Big
Dave
Dave is
making
doing well.
friends.
And
Wait.
Kitty in the chat says he got damn chicken for that damn gumbo there.
Come on.
You wait for
Somebody.
another 20 minutes, and after a while, the receptionist calls up the couple opposite you, and she speaks to them for a few moments, and then dismisses them, and they leave the lobby. She then calls up the factory worker, speaks to him, and assures him that his inquiry will be attended to as soon as humanly possible, which causes him to just shrug and sigh and leave. Finally, she calls up Big Dave, and she smiles at you and says, "And what can I do for you, sir?"
Hello, Big Dave is here because he's with friends looking into the children murders.
She frowns and bites her bottom lip, and she says, "Well, I mean, it's all in the newspapers and everything, but, you know, we don't have a policy here of just sharing information with citizens, with the public.
Big Dave would very much appreciate it if you helped out. We don't want to have to go behind the police's back. We'd much rather work with them.
She says, well, that's different for a change. Usually the investigators just want to make their name on solving the big case. I'll tell you what, I'll let you speak to Detective Brick. He's the detective in charge. He says if you just head down the hallway there, and his office is the first door on the left, you'll see his name right there on the glass. She leans forward and she says, you can read, right?
Big Dave may need you to show him. Big Dave can recognize similar squiggly lines to similar squiggly lines. But not so much.
Make a charm check, please.
That's still pass.
She smiles at you.
Is through the roof.
She smiles at you in a half genuinely warm voice, half sort of condescending voice. She says, well, if you'll please follow me. And she stands up and begins to lead you down the hallway behind the receptionist's desk.
His time is over, nine
King Kai told me how to do At the end of the hallway, you come to a door. On the frosted glass window of the door, there are some black squiggles that the receptionist helpfully informs you that's Detective Brick's name. And then she knocks on the door, and you hear a gruff male voice shout, God damn it, Shirley, I told you not to interrupt me when I'm smoking a cigarette. The door is pushed slightly open, and the secretary sticks her head in, and she says, I'm sorry, Detective Brick, but we've got she leans over her shoulder, and then she says, a private investigator here, and, well, they actually want to help pool their resources with us for a change. You hear Detective Brick shout, you hear Detective Brick give a non-committal grunt, and then the, secretary turns to you and she says, you can go on in, honey. And she winks at you and walks down the hallway and takes her seat back at the desk. Enter the office. You see Detective Brick sitting at his desk, his feet up on... He's leaning back in his chair, his feet up on the desk. In his mouth, he's puffing a cigarette. He looks at you and scratches his thick brown beard, and his eyes narrow, and he says... You don't look like much of an investigator, son.
Big Dave knows that appearances can be deceiving. Big Dave is part of the investigative group that found Paul Lamond.
At this, his eyes immediately perk up and he says, is that so? Well, you're right then, I guess. That's what my grandma used to say. Never judge a book by its cover rings true.
Your grandmother sounds like a very smart woman.
He kicks his feet out at a chair that's in front of his desk, making it roll out from under the desk, and he says, well, take a seat and I'll do my best to help you out.
Big Dave thinks it will be probably better if I stand. I don't want to break your chair.
He looks at you and then he just merely shrugs, and he takes a puff of his cigarette and reaches into his coat pocket and pulls out a pack of cigarettes. And he says, I really should quit these things, but, with a tough case going on, you smoke, kid?
I used to, but then a tray fell on my head.
He shrugs once again. He says, ain't that a shame? Puts the cigarettes away, and he says, all right, so, well, you gotta be here about the child murders, right?
That is correct.
He says, so, what do you want to know? Just, all the salient facts, I take it?
That would be good.
Says, well, lose my job if I, let you walk out of here with the file, but I can tell you the gist of it, maybe help you get a head start. He says, takes another puff of his cigarette, and then he looks at it and, yep.
Big Dave thinks that is a credible thing, as Big Dave may not be able to read the file.
he chuckles and then he looks at his cigarette and he shrugs and then puts it out in the ashtray in front of him and then immediately retrieves another cigarette and lights it and takes a puff. And he says, well, all right, look. So, 3 victims so far, okay? Seems to be one every 2 days or so for the past week. Bodies were found in terrible condition. It's yet to be explained. Medical examiner seems to be stumped. Bodies were only a couple hours dead when they were found. The terrible condition is not conducive with the age of the bodies, you understand? He then says, the bodies themselves, or so I've been told, contained evidence of numerous wounds, apparently caused by, what was it again? He reaches for the file in front of him, and then he puts it down. He says, medical examiner's written here, some sort of a sucking action. Yes, like an insect or an animal or something. He says, and the bodies were coated with mucus. The mucus, presumably mucus, or whatever it was dry when the bodies were found. I could dry it up in the morning sunlight. He crosses his hands and he puffs his cigarette and he says, that's about all we got so far.
Big Dave doesn't like the sound of that.
He says, you and me both, kid. Our detectives are used to dealing with, unfaithful husbands and con men, occasional guy shooting another guy in a bar somewhere. This kind of stuff, well, it's got us stumped at the very least.
Big Dave's head tilts to the left, twinkle in his eye. Great, here we go again.
The detective
It's gonna be a rough day.
Detective Brick looks up and he says, what was that?
Nothing. Big Dave has seen some shit. This sounds like that.
He shrugs and he says, well, feel free to make your own inquiries. That's about all we got. But, if we come up with any more information, maybe I'll throw you a bone. Assuming you do the same thing for us, Helps.
Big Dave, request you give him a card with your number. I won't be able to read it, but my associates will.
He says, right, okay then. He grabs a notepad on his desk and rips off a page, and then he scrolls down a phone number. And before he hands it to you, he says, no, you do know how to use a phone, son.
Big Dave knows how to use phone, but Big Dave is not so good with the reading of numbers. That's why he will get a friend to dial for him.
He says, all right, well, look, as long as someone can get in touch with me, you call this number and just, what was your name, Big Dave?
Yeah, Big Dave.
Says, I'll tell Shirley out there if she gets a call from someone claiming to represent Big Dave to put me through immediately. He takes his cigarette and then he pours out another cigarette onto his hand.
Oh my god! You found that.
He holds out a lone cigarette and he says, look, I know you said you don't smoke, kid, but something tells me you might need this at some point.
Big Dave will be happy to oblige.
Take the cigarette and then you bid farewell to Detective Brick and you leave the police station. We now cross to the offices of the Boston Globe. Kempf is conducting his line of investigation. Enter the Boston Globe. Now, you're quite intimately familiar with this place. In fact, before you started writing for the magazine in Salem, you did a short stint here, and you've still got a couple of friends. So as soon as you enter, you are recognized by female journalist who's in the process of interviewing someone in the lobby. She looks up as you enter and her eyes glow with recognition, and she says, Clark, you've come to pay us a visit. Just take a seat and I'll be with you as soon as I'm done grilling this guy.
Oh, okay. I'll just sit over here and she'll wait.
Take a seat in the lobby. Do you light up a cigarette?
This is a non-smoking room. I notion to the reception, is this a non-smoking room?
Receptionist looks up and she says,
If it's 1920, I think everyone smokes.
Yeah, she says, go ahead, Clark. You've probably earned it knowing all the stories you've been working on.
I probably do. Thank you, my dear. Thank you.
Get out a cigarette and you light it and you take a puff. Your female colleague in the lobby in front of you remember her name to be Luana. If you recall, she was in charge of the lifestyle section of the Boston Globe, the one in charge of reporting about weddings and births and funerals. Not glamorous work, but it's pretty much what a female journalist can expect to get in the year 1929. After she's done talking to her interviewee, she shakes his hand and he pulls forward his hat and nods at her and then takes his leave. She then sighs and screws up the piece of paper in her hand and tosses it into a wastebasket beside the receptionist's desk. And then she crosses her arms and looks at you and she says, Clark, you know what it's like. You want to interview someone and they don't take you seriously.
Like always, Sheila. Like always.
She says, been about a year since you've come to visit. Must be a special occasion.
I'm actually down on business, would you believe? I'm back in town, albeit quite briefly. But I require your assistance.
She winks at you and then brushes a lock of her red hair out of her face and says, let me guess, the murders, right?
That would be correct.
She says, you'll be wanting to speak to Larry then. He's reasonably new, but I think you get along just fine.
Oh,
she says,
can you direct me to Larry?
She says, you know your old office. You want to head up to your old office, and it's the very next door after that.
The old office. How I remember it. Tell me, has anyone moved in there recently?
She says, no, unfortunately, it's been empty ever since you left us for Salem. Nobody's been quite game to report on the spooky stuff, at least until Larry turned up.
To meet this young Larry, he seems quite the fiery one. Please, I shall continue.
You stand up and bid her farewell. She winks at you and she says, we gotta catch up for a drink sometime, Clark. And then she heads out the front door.
In a monologue time.
You head upstairs to the newsroom, to your old office. A couple of the journalists wave at you and briefly greet you as you move past, and you exchange pleasantries with a couple of them. You reach your old office. It's still empty, your desk covered in cardboard boxes and stacks of old papers. And then you proceed to the office next to it, where the name Larry Holmes has been painted on the door. And you knock on the door. You hear a voice say, come in, come in. You enter, and you are immediately greeted by a young man, maybe no older than 22, wearing a pinstriped suit and a fedora. He tips his fedora to you and looks up from his desk, and he says, let me guess, Clark Kemp, right?
That is correct, and you must be Larry Holmes.
He says, yeah, I'm the guy who's continued where you've left off, basically.
I'm investigating all those horrors and murders going on around the town, I suppose.
He says, yeah, in fact, a couple of the other guys on the team said once you read my articles, you might be liable to show up, and sure enough, here you are. He offers you a seat and says, take a seat, buddy, and we'll pull our resources.
Let's do this. I motion towards the chair and I pull it back and I sit down with a glad thump.
You sit down and he smiles at you and he says, now, before we get down to business, sorry, it's sort of a formality, but you do work for a competing publication, and so I'm gonna need assurances that we're working together on this one, and you're not about to poach my story.
Well, Larry, it's not so much about approaching competitors. I am a freelance journalist just like anybody else, and I pay towards the highest bidder. So I will give you free right to do whatever you want, and I will credit you with everything.
I'd like you to make a persuade check, please.
Oh, fuck you, dice gods.
Yeah, that's a critical
Is
success.
that D20 or D100?
A D100, yes, please.
Oh, wow, that
I
was
didn't
really
say
good.
that. I know, if that was a D100. That's still a pass, still a hard pass, in fact. Larry smiles and he says, yeah, all right. Look, we gotta get these stories out to the public, right? I understand. You talk a good talk. He says, he pulls out a notepad and he begins flipping through it and he says, all right, so this is what I got so far. So, this comes from the police, that the bodies, when first discovered, were covered with, some sort of sticky mucus or something like that. He says,
Sticky
now,
mucus,
says, yeah, exactly. Now, I know what you're thinking, you know, ghosts, ectoplasm, that sort of stuff, but there's more, right? So,
I'm not afraid of any no ghosts.
he chuckles and he says, yeah, well, you both learn from the best, huh? And he says, the person who discovered the second victim, now, she claimed that this mucus or slime or whatever led off in a trail through the streets and alleys, and well, she followed it, and the trail ended at the gates of the old Mondu mansion.
I'm stroking my beard as this is going on.
You don't have a beard. Look at your picture. You have no beard.
You're
Yeah,
just
stroking my
stroking where
chin.
the beard would be.
In reality, I'm stroking my beard.
Would like you to make a. It's a chin. I would like you to make an occult check, please.
Okay, let's do this. D100 and not D20.
D100, and that's a pass.
Oh,
So you've heard of the Mondu Mansion. The Mondu Mansion has for several decades been the stereotypical haunted house of this particular part of Boston. It's the subject of many ghost stories and urban legends and things like that. Apparently been uninhabited since at least the 1890s. The only person living there now would be the old woman, Sarah Mondieu, who is known to be a little bit batty. Larry then shrugs and he says, well, anyway, police chose to disbelieve this testimony. So, as they got their own agenda.
Well, of course they do. What else do you have? I need as much information as you can provide.
He says, well, I've been looking into the Mondu Mansion, right? Because, on account of the trail of slime leading from one of the bodies.
Yes, go on.
Says, so, well, look, here's what I found. So, he reaches into his desk and he pulls out an old newspaper clipping from the Boston Globe. You take it and it's dated late September 1891. The article tells of a series of grisly child murders that took place over a period of 2 weeks. The police had found no leads in the case and had warned parents to keep their children in it. The article notes that all the murders took place near the Mondu mansion, site of a murder earlier that same month, involving the noted physician Dr. Ambrose Mondu, his wife, Emily Halstead Cornwallis. Police did not believe the crimes to be connected in any way, and the child murders soon stopped. And he says, so apparently this kind of stuff's happened before, and it stopped, then whatever it is, it's starting up again.
So, if anything, I need to go to the Mondu mansion and find out for ourselves what's exactly going on.
He says, yeah, well, rather you than me, pal. Look, I went there the other night, and the sight of the place, it scared the bejeebies out of me. I swear that place is haunted, right? He looks at you, sort of nervous, as if he's holding something back that he's too afraid to tell you about.
And I gesture to Larry and I put my hand on his shoulder. I say, Larry, I know there is something you're not telling me.
I'd like you to make a persuade check, please.
If I fail this, it looks like I'm just aggressively groping someone.
Yeah, and telling him. Well, you're trying to coax the information out of him and it ain't working.
It'd be okay, buddy.
See if you pass.
I'll pick you up outside.
Well, hey there, friend.
Big Dave, how did you get in here? Pokes his head through the
No, if it
window.
was Big Dave, you wouldn't have to roll the check.
Big Dave is just life.
Oh, no.
Would you like to push it?
What's my persuasion? 70. You know what? For 14 points.
You're gonna spend the luck?
Oh,
no! Don't do that.
14 lost
You
points
could-
right
you
off the
could-
bat.
You can just push it if you want and try to roll again, but
yeah,
you'll make the
we'll
risk.
push it. I'll do a push.
Yeah,
Pause.
Alright, roll it again.
Push
should be
that.
okay.
Woo!
Yeah.
Big save,
E-
big win.
Phew,
Looks like you're-
almost making out with Larry.
Big winner, big winner.
He looks at you, appears to be a little bit more confident, and he says, lowers his voice to nearly a whisper, and he says, look, don't tell anyone that don't tell anyone how scared I was, but as I approached the mansion, I swear I felt like something was watching me, and I went to open the gates, and I saw something climbing over the fence, like some sort of animal, but I couldn't get a good look at it, but in the darkness, based on its shape, wasn't a cat or a dog, you know what I mean? It was
It was a cat dog, yes.
just like whatever it was.
Oh my god! Oh, I need that mug.
Liquid
on
insanity.
Liquid insanity.
Like whatever it was, like it had like antenna or tentacles or something like that. He says, well, I must have just maybe I drank a little bit too much the night before, or maybe I just been a little bit overstressed working on this case. You know what I mean? Sighs and shakes your hand, and he says, anyway, Clark, it was good getting to know you, and I hope anything that you find out might get to the bottom of this whole mess.
And as I walk to the back door and I thank him for his time, I turn around in a sea of admiration. I say, Larry, what you're doing is amazing. You will become a great reporter one day.
That
But
doesn't
until
sound
then,
creepy at all.
I am the great
No, I was gonna
of all
say.
time.
He nods and he says,
Wow.
He says, so long as I don't end up like a poor old James Delacroix, know what I mean?
I know what you mean. I found his fingers.
Jesus.
Larry
Don't worry.
chuckles.
I was gonna say, don't worry. I'm next. Wait, what?
Larry chuckles darkly, and you shut the office door behind you. We cross to the Boston General Library, where the professor and Scaly Pete are conducting their line of inquiry. You arrive at the Grand Boston Library, a big 3-story old building. You arrive at the Boston Grand Library, a big 3-story colonial building, red brick, marble white pillars out the front, and a big staircase. Enter and find yourself faced with 3 floors filled with rows upon rows of ornate shelves stacked with dusty-looking tomes.
I dare say, Pete, we might have our work cut out for us. This place is quite big.
Yeah, and I can't read no good.
We best look for someone to direct us.
So I would like Scaly to make a charm check.
Oh god. Oh god. Oh god.
And I'll have you know I'm quite charming, thank you. Mostly because people don't want to have to deal with me.
I don't think that's called charm. I think that's called disgust.
Yeah, whatever you want to call it, I rolled a 3, so stuff it.
Oh damn.
Couple of rows on the first floor until you find a young librarian sitting with her hands on a book trolley, pulling books off the shelf and exchanging those with the stack on her trolley. As you approach, her face screws up as if she's just smelled something.
Oh, come on. It's a public library, as if they're homeless people.
And then she turns towards you and does her best effort to hide her screwed up face. And she says, "Oh, hello there. How can I help you?"
Good. Is it evening or morning?
Yeah, it's about, it's an early afternoon.
Yeah. Good afternoon, madam. We are here in investigation of the recent child murders, and we've become aware that we might find some information about them here.
She looks at you and she thinks for a moment, and she says, well, look, probably nothing up to date in here. You might find some old newspapers around. She points to the second floor. She says, and maybe that might provide a lead you can follow.
Yes, thank you very much. Yes, anything would do. Yeah, just point us in the direction and we'll be on our way. If I need you, I will come search for you directly.
With her help, and thanks to some charming from Scaly Pete, you convince her to point you towards the old newspapers. And after just a few minutes of searching, you find the same old article that Clark read about the murder, about recent spate, the original spate of child murders in September of 1891, about the double murder of Dr. Ambrose Mondieu and his wife, and how all of the murders took place in relative vicinity to this mansion. And now that you have the lead of the Mondieu mansion, you may conduct a library check to see what you can
Dale,
find.
you're cutting in and out a bit.
Dang it.
And yeah, now that you have the name of the Mondieu mansion in mind, you may conduct library use checks to search the library.
Quick question. The newspapers that they have here, are they free to take, or are they just strictly for the library use?
Well, they're archived, so you'd presumably have to check them out.
Mm-hmm.
Are you doing this for an investigation thing, or just some sort of betting for Scaly Pete?
Pete needs new socks.
Wait,
Professor?
Yes.
Would you like to write down the name of the Mondieu Manor on a piece of paper so you can tell Scaly Pete to look for this word? We can help you.
Yes, I get the closest pen and paper, and I just write it out in big bold letters.
Okay,
Yes.
I would like you
Yes.
to make an own language check, please.
All right.
Who, me or him?
Him.
Alright, that is a 2.
Yeah. Right, you've written it in a format that Scaly Pete can read. I would now like Scaly Pete to do an intelligence check, please.
Oh no.
This'll be fun. Oh shit, that's a 3.
Holy shit!
Ooh, there we
I
go.
recognize him, Scaly Lands.
You basically got a really big red fucking marker and have
Yeah.
written it in like bold fucking letters.
Pretty
I
much.
would now like the professor to make a library use check with advantage, because Scaly Pete knows what to help look for.
Alright, let's see that. Oh, I don't think I can beat an 11.
I think that's fine.
Yep, the other one was a 23, so anyway, that's an extreme success.
You and Scaly Pete fan out, and you each take a floor of the library, and you spend about an hour or 2 carefully combing through all the books. And you find a couple of things of note. The first of all is in an old newspaper, an obituary dated July 4th, 1891. The deceased in the obituary is an infant boy named Jeremy Mondieu, the stillborn to Dr. and Mrs. Ambrose Mondieu. It states that the body of Jeremy will be interred in the Mondieu family crypt in All Hearts Cemetery in Boston.
Hold on, one sec. So the boy is buried in a family crypt?
Yes.
He was apparently stillborn.
Yep.
The second thing you find is an article which is a report on the double murder which occurred in the Mondieu mansion in September of 1891. Details are sketchy, but the story speculates that the stillbirth of Jeremy months earlier may have led to the tragedy. The article says that both victims, Mr. and Mrs. Mondieu, will be interred in the family crypt alongside their son. Dr. Mondieu is survived by his sister Sarah, who presumably resides in the mansion to this day.
Oh.
Would now like Scaly Pete to do a spot hidden check, please.
Ooh. It actually might be a little bit tricky because I don't really have spot hidden.
Oh dear. God damn it, Matt!
Yeah.
I just thought. Would you like to push it, Scaly Pete?
Actually, I only rolled 2 over. Can I spend 2 luck
Yeah,
points
spend
on
2
that?
luck. Yep. So Scaly Pete, on the 3rd floor in a dusty corner of a library, you find a stack of old newspapers, and you find something of note. You bring it to the professor, who reads it for you, and it is an article dated November 16th, 1891. It states that a grave robber was arrested by police at the All Hearts Cemetery while attempting to break into a crypt owned by the Mondieu family. Police speculate that robbery was the motive, despite the claims of the culprit. The culprit stated that he believed the recently deceased Dr. Ambrose Mondieu to be a warlock and had intended to turn his body face down.
And I've seen and heard some crazy shit, but even by my standard.
I'd like the professor to do an occult check, please.
I think... Excuse me, I think I can do that. Can I push that? That's a 91.
Yeah, sure, you can push it.
Thank you.
Push it real good. You can push it real good.
Oh, there we go. That's a 1.
Yep. Okay, so when you read this article, you recall a superstition that's gone back several centuries that if a warlock dies and is not placed face down, then he will resurrect.
Oh.
You are not sure how much this is based in fact. In fact, I'd like both of you to now make Cthulhu Mythos checks.
I was about to say. Okay, let's see. That is... What am I at? 10. That is a pass by 1.
Okay.
Whatever, mine.
So, you believe that there may be a kernel of truth to the idea that warlocks can resurrect, or that at the very least, they can achieve some degree of immortality.
If not
But
buried
you
face
bel-
down.
Yeah, but
Okay.
you believe that. But here's the thing: you believe that the turning them face down part is just superstition.
Ah. Is there anything else in the library the professor could use?
Probably not, because he can't read. But
he's a
No, me.
professor,
Me.
not me.
yeah. Well, you seem to have found most of the pertinent information. Is there anything in particular you'd like to look for?
Yes, the professor would like to see if there's any more occult books to study up on.
Very well. Make an occult check, please.
While he's doing that, can I make a quick sleight of hand check?
Yeah, go ahead.
The hell are you doing?
Stealing newspapers, I
Oh.
think.
Well, that's a 34, so that's a big pass.
Alright, that is a pass, that is a 10.
All right. So first of all, Scaly Pete, when the professor goes off to scan the library for occult books, you grab a handful of newspapers from the stack of old newspapers, and you make sure the coast is clear, and then stuff them into your rucksack.
This ain't my first library I've been to.
Oh, that's not just a pass for me, that's a critical pass.
Yes. You find a rather strange and obscure-looking tome tucked away in one of the furthest, darkest corners of the first floor. There is no title on the cover, and the only...
Sorry, Call of Cthulhu, Dark Corners of the Library.
And the only identifying mark on the book is a strange symbol. Appears to be an octopus or squid carved, embroidered on the spine. You wish to read this?
Yes, the professor would like to study up on the occult.
Very well. So first of all, I'd like you to make a sand check, please.
That is... What is my saying? Yep, that's a pass.
Yep. So you don't lose any sanity.
Oh,
but
neat.
You flip through the book, and most of it appears to be relatively simple superstitions and other myths. But there is one thing that catches your attention towards the very back of the book that may be noteworthy, and it is a short description of a dimension that exists beyond the fabric of time and reality, and that within this dimension there are unknowable creatures capable of inflicting atrocities on the human mind, or worse. I would like you to make a Cthulhu Mythos check, please.
Alright, let's do this. That is a... No, not a pass.
So unfortunately you can't tell what this thing is, but the description of it disturbs you, something that exists beyond the fabric of reality, and according to this book, is able to break through into the real world at any random inopportune time and snatch somebody to be its victim.
The professor would like to pocket this book.
Yes. Make a... Actually, no one's going to see you. You could just pocket it.
Oh, that's lovely. So he pockets shit and everyone's fine with it. I pocket something and everyone's
Well,
fine
look
with
at
it.
you.
He's in a dark corner of the library and is a
no,
distinguished professor. You're a homeless guy in the newspaper archive section. That seems to be everything that you can find in the library. So with your knowledge and newly acquired tomes, you bid farewell to the librarian, who is rather furiously scrubbing the carpet where you approached her before.
I cleaned my feet last week.
And you leave the library. So you all reconvene at the hotel where you were staying, and you convene in your hotel room and tell each other all of the things you've gleaned from your first round of investigation. Pete, I'd like you to do a cook gumbo check, please.
Yay!
Oh, he's coming at gumbo. Oh man, I'd kill you all sorts of gumbo. You know the best sort of gumbo to have.
Extreme
I
gumbo.
make all sorts of gumbo. I make all
Please
sorts
don't
of
say
gumbo.
worm gumbo.
Hey, yeah, that's
Please
pass.
don't.
Yep.
Just
so-
normal pass.
As you
Yeah, it's just today. It's just a normal.
Yeah.
meal.
So unfortunately, unfortunately you don't get any benefits from eating it, but it is still tastes nice as usual. As you served a bowl that you slowly eat over the course of a late lunch while you divulge information to each other. And Professor, I'd like you to do a spot hidden check, please.
Professor would like to look around wherever we are. That is a... What is my spot in there? That is... Can I use 2 luck points? Yes!
Yeah, go ahead. As you grab a spoonful of gumbo and raise it towards your mouth, you notice something floating in the juices.
Oh,
You
God.
reach in and you pull it out, and it is what appears to be a tiny shred of paper with words reading "Lincoln assassinated."
Scaly Pete, what have you done? What have you put in this gumbo?
Oh, you know, just the usual things: bit of potato, bit of carrot, bit of fruit. Yeah, you
Well-
know, little bits of other things, just to spice things a bit.
Well, what is this newspaper?
Oh, you know, I hear print really good to bring out the information.
I've-
So tough to bring out.
I've heard of brain food, but this isn't quite exactly what I had in mind.
Well, look, while we're in Boston, maybe I'll get my hands on some shrimp. You ever had shrimp gumbo? I tell you, shrimp is absolutely fantastic. You gotta know that shrimp. And shrimp is like the food of the sea now. And you get the pineapple shrimp, you get the lemon shrimp, coconut shrimp, pepper shrimp, you get shrimp potato, shrimp burger, shrimp sandwich. I tell you, if I can give you some shrimp gumbo, I'd die happy, man.
Oh my fucking god! Everyone make a sanity check.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would actually like everyone present to make a sanity check.
Oh Jesus!
except for Scaly Pete.
That's a fail.
Eat the gumbo.
Oh, that's a pass.
It's not okay with this.
That's a
What?
pass.
Gumbo. No,
I take a sanity check for his fourth wall breaking.
Yeah.
Oh, God damn you, Angus.
What have we learned?
Oh,
Okay. Everyone who failed, you lose just 1 sand point as
None question the gumbo.
Scaly Pete regales you for almost an hour on the various types of shrimp gumbo he can make, and all of down to the exact detail of how long he boils them for.
Oh my god, can someone on Twitch please clip all this? God fucking damn it. Oh, whew, that was
the
glorious.
friends that we have.
Right. So after Pete's cooking lesson, it's about 3 in the afternoon. You've had something to eat. You've passed some information back and forth.
Your brain
Unpacked. Unpacked your stuff in the hotel room, and you have a couple of avenues of investigation here. The obvious one, of course, would be to head to the Monju mansion and look around. You also may head to the All Hearts Cemetery and examine the Monju family crypt.
Quick question. We
Yep.
all in the same room now?
Yes.
Ah, cool. Let's go to the store and get some stuff.
Yeah, you may also go to the store and buy supplies, guns, whatever you need.
I notion to the group, gentlemen. From our research and from our previous experiences, we know that ghosts are real. We know that what we are here to confront will be both horrifying, terrifying, and quite esoteric to all of us. It is essential that we stock up with supplies to not make this our final stand, but so we come back, not in pieces. I gesture to all of them. We need to survive this. I just want to run.
Okay, I'd like to point out, since when was Clark Kent voiced by Winston Churchill?
Yeah.
That's how he.
I was
That's
gonna
just how
say.
he speaks now. But he does raise
He's
a
German.
good point. He does raise a good point. You know that these murders have occurred somewhere in the vicinity of the Mondew Mansion. You know there was a double murder there several decades ago. And even if you're not visiting there yet, even if you're only going to the cemetery, after what you went through several months ago, perhaps it is a good idea to stock up on supplies and maybe make sure you're able to defend yourself if the occasion arises.
Yes, the professor is sick of being unarmed.
He probably would like to buy a gun.
Yes.
His pen and pad has not been doing very well.
Hey,
as a
hey,
weapon.
at least I had a lamp last week.
Yes, you did throw a lamp at somebody last week.
It works.
So, as a group, you leave your hotel room and you lock the door, and you head back into the Boston interior to find a general to shop around for supplies. I would like all of you to do credit rating checks, please.
Okay, credit range.
Oh, shit, I forgot to pay off the car.
Fail.
That
Fail.
is...
That's one fail.
That's a pass. Oh, wow, nice.
2 passes. Okay, so it all depends on
Yes.
and that's a pass. Okay. So
You
Yeah.
fail.
So the party passes, and it was all because of you, Clark Kent, passing your check. So, drive around for an hour or two, just scoping out the local general stores and gun stores and other places of note. And you're trying to look for places that are inconspicuous and have a good range, but also aren't completely expensive, where you can buy good, cheap, reliable stuff. And you eventually arrive at a store at the end of a side street, just off a market, just off a community square, with a sign reading Jefferson's Pawn, and Jefferson's Pawn, Pawn, for those who thought otherwise.
God damn it.
Dave.
Shop is dusty and out of the way, but displayed in the window is a large selection of merchandise. A couple of shotguns, a hunting rifle, a pistol, various articles of clothing. And so you're confident you'll probably find what you need in here. As you enter, a little bell tings as the door opens, and immediately you're accosted by a cloud of dust.
All right.
Once the dust subsides, you find yourself staring at a bald, overweight man wearing a dirty white baggy shirt who's watching you. He scratches his bald head and he says, customer, let me guess, you want to hock your family heirloom so you can pay off the car payments?
Dale, before you continue, what page is guns on the rulebook?
It is starts at 410, I believe.
410, alright, thank you.
I'll just quickly check in my own book here.
Oh, my book should be coming next week.
Yes. Let's see, 400. It is 403.
4-3, thank you.
This is where the list of supplies are.
Out of curiosity, is a pistol generic, or do you have various forms of the pistol?
There are
Whether it be a
various.
revolver?
Yep, there are various specific pistols. You at the moment have the 38, which is the second weakest pistol. Would you be looking to upgrade?
I'm definitely considering an upgrade.
Also, depends on
I'd
how much
like-
money you got.
So, first of all, Clark Kempf, I'd like you to make a firearms check, please.
Oh yeah, also, sorry, do we end up getting paid from last week?
Yes, you did.
Right,
You were given You were given 2,000 divided by 5, so you were given
$400.
yeah,
Oh, okay.
$400 each.
All right, thank you.
Dan Cooper, you can push that if you want, Dan Cooper. You've only got the only thing you've got to lose is time. So,
All right, well, fuck it, let's just do it. Oh, D100 again.
one.
Yeah.
Yep, that's better. Would you like to spend the 1 luck? Wait, no, your firearms is 50 now, isn't it? Yeah, so you've just
50.
passed. Okay, so you look around the dusty shop, Clark Kempfer. You assure the man behind the counter that no, you're not here to hock your old wedding ring to pay off the car, and that you're looking for a sidearm. And he offers you you find a couple of suitable things tucked away on a shelf in the back of the store. You may acquire a 357 Magnum revolver.
Nice. I'm just looking at the damage on that.
you may acquire a 41 caliber revolver or a 44 caliber Magnum revolver.
Oh, okay.
41 deals 1d10 damage, and it costs $30. And the 44 Magnum revolver deals 1d10 plus 1d4 plus 2 damage, and it costs $475.
How about the 357?
357. Oh, yeah, the 357 deals 1d8 plus 1d4, and it costs $300.
Oh. Alright. I gather the team around for a team huddle. What should I go for, guys?
Big Dave don't like guns. Big Dave don't care.
He likes axes.
Don't worry, Dave. We're not meant to scare you. I'll give you a gun.
Gary, they're just stupid. I don't let my big finger work on the triggers.
You place your 357 on the counter, and the man scratches his head and he says, yeah, I remember that one. Guy came in, wouldn't take any less than 100 for it. Said he had to buy an operation for his daughter. He says, so will that be all today for you?
Actually, no. I want to buy that 41 revolver.
You're gonna buy the 41. Okay, so the 41 revolver deals 1d10 and it costs $30.
Wait, which one was the better one of them all? I thought that was the
44 is the
the
best
ones-
one. The 44 is the best
Sorry?
one, but it's the most... The 44 is the best one, but it's the most expensive.
Ah, okay. Well, look, honestly, just go for the 44. I think I've got enough
Right.
money for that.
So that's going to cost $400.
400. Do we get 400
Yeah,
from...
you got exactly 400
You
from the
got
last
exactly...
job.
So would you like to spend your takings from the last job on this?
Yeah, I've still got $80 left over. Awesome. Take my 400.
Awesome. You quickly swap the revolvers for the 44, a huge revolver. It's almost bigger than your head. And the shopkeeper
My eyes
takes
start
the
I
lighting up.
can attest to that. Those are some serious fucking guns.
Oh, yeah.
The shopkeeper takes your wad of cash and he puts it in the cash register with a loud ping, and then
Oh, the machine
smiles
goes
and
big.
he smiles and he says, "Stranger, now that's a weapon."
I thought it was about to break out into an Ollivanders monologue. Ah, it has just a twin as well.
Curious.
Is there anything that anyone else would like to purchase?
Yes.
Big
Yes.
Dave would like to find some first aid gear.
First aid gear. Big Dave would like you to do a spot hidden check, please.
Big Dave makes a hard path.
Okay. Let me check. Prices. Okay, there we go. Medical
Oh,
equipment.
this is the only one I could find.
You find a complete a complete surplus field medic kit from the Great War for $60.
Big Dave will buy this.
While using it, just one. It only can be used one time, but for that one time, it will increase your first aid skill by 50%.
Oh, damn.
Oh. Damn.
Hey, unit.
Okay, yeah, I definitely want to buy that.
Okay, so you hand over $60 to the shopkeeper, and he's surprised when someone such as you hands him a large amount of money, and the cash register goes ka-ching once again as he places the money into the cash register. Scaly Pete and Professor, are you guys purchasing anything here?
Yes, the professor. Professor goes up to the shopkeep. Looking for a firearm, my good sir. I don't suppose you have a model P08 Luger.
He says, fan of the Krauts, are we?
Just respect a good gun.
He heads to a locked cabinet behind the counter and grabs a key around his neck and, with a loud click, unlocks the cabinet, grabs something from the shelf within and then shuts the door. And on the counter, he places a World War I era Luger. He says, it'll be $600.
I think I can spare that, my good man.
Reach into your pocket and you hand him the $600. He tries to put it in the cash register and then realizes that the drawer's already full with money. So he just
This guy's going to take like the next month off because he doesn't need to go.
So he just stows the cash into his pocket and then he smiles and he says, "Is there anything else?"
We need dynamite.
Actually, that was going to be on my shopping list.
Want to find dynamite?
Let's buy a shitload of dynamite.
Big Dave is good at throwing stuff.
Scaly
Pete, Scaly Pete, I would like you, please, to make a, let me see. Let's see. Just bringing up a character sheet so I can decide what check to give you. I would like Scaly Pete to please just make an intelligence check.
Alright, hold on, break it out into the chat for a second. Smithy says, Big Dave is a medical genius, and Kitty says, Big Dave should marry into royalty.
Unfortunately, they did that, and that's how he became the offspring of royalty.
Okay, so 17, so that's a hard pass. So yeah, basically
It's
he
a
gets
hard
the money
pass.
and basically puts a small pile of very filthy money on the can going, Pete, I only want two. I got a list. I got two things. I want some shrimp. I want some goddamn dynamite.
The shopkeeper looks at you and he says, "Well, dynamite I can provide." He reaches under the counter and he sticks 2 sticks of dynamite on the counter and he says, "That'll be $100 for both of them." He says, "Now, as for shrimp, well, I want to check out this guy." And he reaches for a piece of paper and writes down an address and he hands it to you. He says, "Go down to the harbor and give this guy a check. He's got the freshest stuff."
That's good shrimp. I'm guessing I'm probably not going to do more of a melee weapon sort of deal. Is there anything that could work better than the video?
Oh my god, whoever's doing that, stop.
Yes. I would like Scaly Pete to do a fighting brawl check, please.
Oh, see, now this I can work
Oh,
with.
sorry, that was me. I had something bad for dinner.
We know. Yeah, that's a critical pass.
Okay. You have multiple options to choose from that you can see here in the store. A very intimidating looking metal baseball bat.
Oh my god.
Interesting. Go on.
And you have what appears to be an old cavalry saber.
Oh.
And finally, tucked away behind a dusty box of crates, you see an old bow and arrow.
Interesting.
The bow can be fired with a fighting check.
Oh, really? With fighting brawl or fire?
With fighting brawl, yes.
Oh, nice. Okay, how much for the bow and arrow and the saber?
So the bow will cost you $7, and the cavalry saber will cost you $75.
So that's 70.
$82.
$80. So we're spending $182 all up to get 2 TNT, the bow and arrow, and the saber.
That's correct.
Okay. If that is all up, because I got the money. I definitely have the money for it. I'm just gonna try and work out how much I got left after this.
Yeah.
I'll just write down 182. I'll just work that out later. Yep.
Place them on the dusty counter and hand over the wad of cash. The shopkeeper takes it and he just sticks it in his pocket. And he chuckles and he says, well, guess I can take that.
Oh, we've lost you.
Yeah, I didn't get that.
He chuckles, the shopkeeper chuckles and he says, well, guess I can finally take that year off.
Okay, now how much damage does the
cavalry saber? Okay, so the bow and arrow deals 1d6 plus half your damage bonus.
6 plus half damage bonus.
Yep. And the cavalry saber deals 1d8 plus 1 plus damage bonus.
8 plus 1 plus d. Nice. How much ammo do I have for the bow?
The bow, you have, it comes with a quiver of 6 arrows.
Okay.
Alright, Dale, what page is like armor under?
Armor is on, let me see, should be somewhere near here. It's before the weapons, that's right.
Before the weapons.
It is on page 396 and 397.
396 and 97, okay. Oh, equipment list.
Yes, equipment list.
What's it under? Like, I'm looking at it as like men's clothing.
Yeah, I'm trying to see. Does it not have armor on here?
Yeah, that's where I got lost.
Yeah, let me see. Jacket full of that's just actual clothing, travel gear, tents, tools, miscellaneous investigator tools, transport, vehicles, train fares. Here's the armor. Armor. I need to find you, armor. Let's see. The armor is on page 409. There's no prices for it, but it will just tell you how much points it reduces.
Oh, okay. 409.
409, and you'll see it.
It reduces. Yeah, because I was just trying to have a look at like what I could afford.
Yes. I can tell you what the prices are for each of them, so...
Pretty much from what I have left, I just need something that will give me an extra armor point. I have 600 left.
600. Alright, you can get a leather jacket for $80. Or you can get a World War I vest for $300.
No, I'll just get the leather jacket. The professor still needs to look spiffy.
Yes. All right.
Is
So
there any
80.
other leather jackets?
Yeah, you can get one for 80 as well if you want.
Yep.
And that's one armor.
Yep, that's one armor point from leather jacket.
All right.
All right. You head out of the store straining under the weight of all your new purchases, and you stow what you can't carry in the boot of the car, and then you set about on the next course of your investigation. So where to, fellas? The Mondew Mansion or the All Hearts Cemetery?
I'd like to have a look at the cemetery if the rest of the party doesn't mind.
Big Dave likes that idea.
Scaly Pete.
Yeah,
Mm,
I'm good with where. I'm good with where everyone
Right.
else is going.
I nod majestically.
You climb into Big Dave's car and you drive out in the direction of All Hearts Cemetery. I would like Scaly Pete to make a navigate check, please.
Okay. That's a pass.
Yep, you get there in quick time. It's just before 4:30 in the afternoon by the time you finally turn up. You park in the car park outside of the cemetery. You each climb out, shut the car doors, and you head through the large wrought iron gates into the cemetery beyond. It is rather cold in the cemetery. Large trees with twisted, leafless, dead branches. It is the midst of February, after all. Sway beside the cobblestone path and cast twisted, disjointed shadows on the ground. Eventually, at the very back of the cemetery, about 20 minutes walk from the entrance, you come to what is apparently the Mondieu family mausoleum. Written around the doorframe of the Mondieu family mausoleum is a motto carved into the stone. It appears to be written in French. I would like Scaly Pete to make a Cajun language
Oh
check,
my
please.
god.
Yeah, that's right. Scaly Pete says Cajun, but Scaly Pete can read in French.
Doing it wrong the whole time.
And yeah, that's a pass.
You translate the motto. It reads, to son, to father, to son, to father, to son.
Yeah. I was gonna say, you guys are all sitting there going, I wonder what that says. And Scaly Pete just rambles it off at the top of his head. It's like, wait, what?
Speak friend and enter.
Can't read English, but can read French just fine.
Yeah, read and speak French fluently, perfectly. Like, even speaking French, says it just in a regular tone. Goes back to English, it's just garbled.
You attempt to open the door of the mausoleum, but the large, thick wooden door is locked with a imposing-looking wrought iron padlock. Yeah, that's Pete leaving the store.
Big Dave, would you be a chap and open these doors? You're a strong, strapping lad.
But maybe you don't want to destroy them.
Yeah, no.
Clark Kempf has a... what has he got in lock? He's got a 40 in locksmith. He might have a chance of opening it. And then you can resort to Big Dave.
Big Dave okay with either way.
You know, the last thing you want to do is get arrested for breaking into somebody's mausoleum. So...
Scaly Pete can't go back into prison again.
Not again.
Yeah, no. Okay. I will do Clark Kempf's check since he's ducked out.
Oh.
And he does a hard success.
Yeah, you see when you do it, when you play him.
When I play his characters, they pull.
They pull their weight, yes.
Yeah.
Oh my god, crawfish. Sorry, someone. Sorry, someone's in the chat has just mentioned crawfish and it's like, Scaly Pete, why haven't you made anything with crawfish?
Haven't had the chance to get crawfish yet. We haven't been to the Cajun states.
Oh, don't even get me started on the crawfish. What you can do with crawfish. You can do more with crawfish than you can with shrimp.
Proceeds to go 2 hours of explanation on crawfish. Aww.
Alright, continue, sorry, Dale.
So M1... Actually, I might get M1 to do the check. So M1, they're trying to get into the family mausoleum, but the door is locked.
Don't ruin this.
Just give him the chance, and if he fails, I'll just do my check. So Clark Kemp, you have a 40 in locksmith, and you're the only one here who can pick locks. So would you like to make a locksmith check?
Or, I could just get my new revolver out and point at the lock.
Yeah, but you might get arrested for breaking into... We're trying to avoid anyone hearing you breaking into the mausoleum.
I was gonna say technically.
All things considered. Sorry?
I said technically I have a 30 in locksmith, but
Scaly Pete can attempt it then if Clark fails.
And if everybody fails, Big Dave just...
Yeah, and then Big Dave can bash it down if there's no other alternative.
we're just trying.
Alright,
to
let's
find
try
options
this.
that don't
Let's try it.
We've already seen.
Alright, D100. Let's.
Oh my god!
Oh, that's the best
He
possible
just
success.
Can we just take a moment that the dice gods actually passed this?
Yeah, they
He just
seem to
quite
like him
literally
one
just-
tonight.
He just quite literally the Fonz's style just
Yeah.
knocks the door.
Hey!
So this is what
Okay.
happened. This is what happens. You try to open, you realize it's locked. So, so Clark Kemp, he steps forward and he just says, "Leave it to me." And then he leans over, and you don't even see him pull any lock-picking implements out. He just sort of grasps the lock in his hand for like 10 seconds, and then you hear a click and it comes loose.
That boy got that magic voodoo finger.
Okay.
Let him know.
Sorry.
May now enter the family mausoleum. Would you like to enter?
Only if we're jumping with hands.
Yep, you can.
No.
What?
No.
Entering with weapons drawn or just entering?
Well,
drawn.
knowing how good this has been, do you want to have your weapons drawn? Because, we're on the suspect path of some trippy, ghostly shit.
You know, it might be worth having your weapons drawn, knowing what you've been
I'm
through.
always happy to keep the machete out.
Yeah.
You all pull your
Everyone,
weapons
guns
out,
ready.
and who's pushing the door open?
Dave, I believe it's your time to shine.
Alright, Dave. Okay, Dave creeps forward, his hatchet in one hand, and he bares his arm and he slowly pushes the door open, revealing pitch black darkness on the other side and silence.
No one
with
forgot
your-
to buy goddamn lanterns.
Yeah,
No, we
it's
got
okay.
we got candles.
Yeah, you've
Fine.
got. Yeah, he's got stuff.
Okay.
Actually, bought stuff last week that you never ended up using.
Ah.
And
like
with
candles.
your weapon, and he's also got a camera with a flash if he needs to. So, if your weapon's drawn, you steel yourselves and creep beyond the threshold into.
Is there anybody in here?
I would like everyone present to make sand checks, please.
Oh, Jesus. Alright.
Even me?
That is
Yep,
a pass.
even Big Dave.
Especially you.
Yeah.
Especially. Yay!
Oh yeah, pass back country.
Yeah,
mile.
that's a 31.
And
Pass,
people-
pass.
And the people
Okay.
that like to, hey, I was gonna say to the lovely people that like to yell out loud inside of a quiet
Mausoleum.
mausoleum, just one thing. This.
Um,
Nope, none of that.
listen to Bardock, he knows what he's talking
I
about.
can see future.
So those who passed, you lose 1 point of sanity. Those who failed are 1d4 sanity, but I don't think any of you failed. Inside the mausoleum, as you enter, Clark Kemp strikes a match and lights a candle so you can see. And then, in the flickering firelight, you make out at least stone coffins lining the walls inside of the mausoleum, each one bearing a member of the Mondieu family's name.
Mon Dieu.
Mon Dieu.
No, not Mountain Dew. You're
Dew.
falling up in the back of the head.
Are they relatives of the Fondues?
Really?
Yeah, they are relatives of the Fondue family.
Oh, yeah, the Fondue family. We here talking about them in damn New Orleans. They do some amazing stuff with cheese.
With cheese.
You should see that cheese combo.
Right, I would like to perform. Professor would like to perform a spot hidden, if he may.
A
Yep.
spot hidden.
Go ahead and make a spot hidden check.
A spot of hidden. That is a 16. That is a critical pass.
You head into the mausoleum and you look around. You examine each stone sarcophagus in turn, and soon you locate three. You locate three of them with names that you recognize from your research. There is a sarcophagus with the name Ambrose Mondieu carved into it. There is a sarcophagus with the name Emily Mondieu carved into it, and a third, smaller sarcophagus that simply reads Jeremy.
I'd like to closely study this, the charred sarcophagus.
Okay, would you like to open it up?
Yes, the professor would like to open it up.
What's that? You want to
Right.
open a sarcophagus?
It's a child's coffin, so it doesn't require any significant effort to lift off the stone lid. And you lift it off and then peer inside through the flickering candlelight, and you see the coffin appears to be filled with rocks and nothing more.
I would like to move the rocks and see if there's anything etched on the coffin.
Yep, I would like you to make a strength check, please.
That's not good.
Okay, what is my strength anyway? Can I push that?
You could ask Big Dave to come and help if you want.
Oh, I can too.
Dave,
Dave, my lad, I require your services.
Please
Take
don't
one look
tell
at the
the
rocks.
Vicky should do this.
yeah, no, there's investigating.
God damn it, boy, it's for science!
Oh. This isn't for science, it's something.
God damn it, boy, get over here!
Or you could try to
Big
push it
Dave
if you
is
like.
very unhappy with you.
You can try to you can push it, but no, there are consequences if you fail.
Well, since Big Dave doesn't want to help the professor, he'll push it. Okay, that is... that is just on pass. That is just
Fantastic.
40 right there.
You sit there and you slowly lift the rocks out one by one, taking care not to damage anything that might be underneath. And at the very bottom of the sarcophagus, underneath all the rocks, is a single shred of paper. Pick it up and something appears to be written on it in French.
Scaly Pete?
Gaily Pete, make a Cajun language check, please.
Okay. Yeah, that's a crit pass.
Somebody has written on this shred of paper, "Though my son be dead, he persists in another life."
Oh, okay.
No.
Just no.
Just starts rambling off in French. Just
Would you like to open either Ambrose or Emily's coffins?
Yes, we would.
Yeah, do we though? I feel like this is a very royal we. It's an editorial we.
I think we would.
I think
Okay.
you would.
Oh, fine. The
This
professor.
feels like
coffins-
going outside the
All right, Dave can go stand outside if he wants.
Dave will do so.
These coffins are much bigger, and instead of a simple stone lid, there's a thick slab placed over the top. You will require a strength check to open these coffins.
Yep. All right. Let the weak man open the sarcophagus.
Scaly Pete can help, but I doubt he wants to.
All right. That is a pass.
That is a pass.
Thank God you didn't
Yep.
need a hard pass.
You, You grunt, and with all your strength, you push away the slab on top of Ambrose's
We're
coffin.
just leaving the frail fucking professor to do all
Yeah,
the heavy
he is
lifting,
doing all
because
this.
It's like, this is some evil shit. We're not getting involved.
The things I do
Professor
for
Dave
science.
doesn't like tubes. It's very unnerving.
Professor, I would
Yeah,
like you to please make a sand check.
Yep, can do.
I was gonna say
That is a. Hold on, wait. Yes, that is a pass.
Okay, you lose 1 sanity. Inside the coffin, you see a skeleton several decades old lying face down. Clutched in the skeleton's right hand is a pair of what appears to be stone spectacles with a strange red lens.
Okay, the professor would like to pick them up and examine them.
Well,
Okay.
you don't want to just chuck them straight on your nose because you've been very, very cavalier about everything else up to this point in here.
You can just put them on if you want. But first, I would like the professor to do an appraise check, please.
Ooh, what's my appraise at? Oh god, what is it 5% of?
That's just 5%.
Oh Jesus
Fine.
Christ.
Oh, Lord. Scaly Pete's done some very questionable and sketchy shit, but messing with a mausoleum is definitely not on his to-do list.
Anything else would have been good because that's a 13, but no.
Oh.
Actually,
You may attempt.
can I spend
may
luck on that?
Oh, yeah, you can spend luck. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I think I will.
Right? You look at the glasses. They're a strange. It's a strange object to be buried with because it doesn't appear to be that valuable. The frames of the glasses appear to be carved out of just normal stone, and it's not beautiful or intricate carving. It's just rough carving out of stone to make a stone frame of glasses. The lenses may be valuable, at least at first you think maybe it's some sort of gemstone, but it appears to just be glass that's tinted a strange red color.
Can I
And you
do either a history or occult check on them?
yeah, you can do whichever is higher, history or occult.
Oh, whichever's higher, so that's history. Can I push that, please?
Yes, go ahead.
Oh, thank you. Yes, that's a pass.
Okay, so first of all, you notice that these glasses do not appear to be terribly old. They're perhaps no more than a few decades old. At most, maybe mid-1800s. And this is strange because at this time when these glasses would have been made, optometry was already an established science, and there would be no reason whatsoever to craft glasses out of stone, let alone tint them in a strange color.
Yes, after examining them a bit, the professor would like to put them on.
Very well. You remove your own glasses, and then you place the spectacles over your eyes. I would like you to make a sand check, please.
That is a pass.
You lose 1d6 sand points for passing.
What would have been the fail?
1d12.
Okay, that is a... Oh, 2's not bad.
2. Okay. As soon as you put the glasses on, you cannot believe your eyes. On the other side of the lenses, you can see a strange landscape of shifting crystalline forms of dark blue and purples, contorting to impossible angles and bizarre perspectives. Then, see something scuttling between spiky crystals, and then, before you have a chance to react, you see it. Something that looks like a skeletal cross between a large insect and a dog. Pure bone white, scuttling across this bizarre landscape. The thing is approximately 7 feet tall, lean to the point of emaciation. Its dark face is mask-like, and it moves with the aid of long arms slipping up and down with ease. I'd like you to make a dodge check, please.
Oh, good. Oh, good. Okay, what is my dodge? Can I spend 2 luck points?
Yes, you can.
Oh, phew.
And just a hell no.
Meanwhile, you guys can't see what I see. So you're just watching an old man just duck and weave.
Told him. I told him
Okay.
it should happen. He messed with the zooms. Now they got the hoodoo.
See the thing rushing towards you, and you duck just in time to see it slash out with one of its forelegs. And then you feel terrible pain as something cuts through your flesh and clothing.
Oh dear.
You take 4 points. You take 4 points of damage. The rest of you watch, and you see the professor duck as if something is running at him, and then, to your horror, his coat begins to rip of its own accord, and some unseen force slashes into his skin, spurting blood all over the floor. I would like everyone else to make sand checks, please.
But I'm outside.
Yeah, except for Dave.
Ooh.
Right, so that's a fail. That's a fail. Right, so
Pass.
right, so Scaly Pete, you lose 1 sanity, and Clark Kempf, you lose 1.
What was that? Though you cut out again.
Scaly Pete loses 1 sanity. Clark Kempf loses 1d6.
1d6. Alright, let's roll. So at this point, we can't actually see. Oh shit.
1D.
Yeah,
1d6.
all you see is
you
my
can't-
clothes being
Yeah,
slashed.
you just see him being slashed by an unknown force. Okay, you lose 2
We
sanity.
know. We only see he's been hit by some unknown force.
Yep.
Yes,
So
that
is it
something is
still a
slashing at him.
It
Yeah,
appears
still an
that-
actual. You can tell that it is a real physical wound, but it appears that the thing attacking him is invisible.
Okay, so it has. We don't know if it has any physical property yet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right, do either of you two do anything after feeling your jaws go slack from watching the professor being attacked by an
I'm gonna call
unseeable
Big
entity?
Dave back in here because
I'm doing a occult check to see if I recognize any. If I recognize. wound from-
Yes, go ahead. Make an occult check.
That's a pass.
Ooh. He may very well. He may currently be under attack by a poltergeist or some form of malevolent spirit. It is likely that the thing that is attacking him has no physical presence.
Alright.
so we can't actually do anything to stop this.
Until I take off the
Professor-
glasses.
You
Professor,
can't
would
grab
you
the
like-
arm and get out of there.
Professor,
And then-
either of you can probably rush up and try to pull the glasses off him.
Yeah, I'd definitely go to do that.
All right. I would like Scaly Pete to make a dex check, please.
Oh. Yeah. Yeah, that's a pass. You?
Okay. Rush forward.
Oh.
And then, as you grab the stone frames and pull them off, you hear the sound of fabric ripping as the invisible force slashes through the professor's torso once again. Professor, you take another 4 points.
4 points.
Then
Oh,
you
that's
rip
it.
the
Taking off the glasses, do anything?
No, you rip the glasses, and then as soon as... Yeah, basically, you rip the glasses off, but you weren't in time to stop him being attacked a second time.
That's from Call of Cthulhu as well.
Yeah, I know, critical
Nice.
roll.
Oh, dear.
You grab the glasses, yank them off his head, and then toss them onto the floor. Professor is bleeding profusely. Professor, I would like you to make a constitution check, please.
Okay. What is
I told you not to mess with them. I told you not to mess with them.
Yes, that's a pass.
You feel yourself becoming woozy, but you manage to remain conscious. Brace yourselves. You brace yourselves and wait, but the unseen force does not attack again.
Big man, need to bring the first aid kit.
At Big Dave, you hear them calling for you. Do you dare go in?
What was that?
Big Dave, to the rescue!
Here it comes to save the day.
You enter the mausoleum, Big Dave, and you see Clark Kemp and Scaly Pete standing aghast as the professor clutches multiple wounds on his chest, bleeding through his disheveled, torn clothes.
So glad we decided to put those glasses on, aren't we?
I'm gonna take the glasses and put them in my coat pocket. We know it's bad, but
Yeah,
we need
you
to
can
keep.
do that. You can take it with you. It might be handy.
But they're my glasses!
I was gonna say.
At the moment, you're
please
dying
somebody
profusely.
explain to me in what
I'm taking
realm
them to
glass
make sure we don't
that
forget them.
summon a friggin' ethereal monster that really does a
Clark-
number on people. Kent is a good
Clark Kemp
idea.
picks up the glasses and stows them away in his pocket. And while you're there, Clark Kemp, would you like to take a photo of the mausoleum and of the professor so you can
All right,
document what
everyone-
happened?
Glasses.
get into frame and get ready to take a snapshot. Smile.
Make a photography check, please.
Smile for me, baby. Really put in that grit those teeth. Really look like you're bleeding to death right now.
You're pushing.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
towing the
Work
line
that
of
blood
professionalism, mate.
Work that blood loss.
Good. So while they attend to the professor, you take some photos of the mausoleum itself, of the piece of paper that was found in the son's empty coffin, of the skeleton lying face down, of the blood on the floor, and finally of the strange pair of glasses. Would anyone like to roll first aid to attend to the professor?
Big Dave feels like he probably should.
Are you gonna use the kit or just first aid on its own?
I might use first aids. Also,
How much health do you have left, Liam?
I have 2.
Took about 8. Oh,
Yeah,
Jesus
okay, I
Christ.
better use the med pack.
Yeah,
Right.
fucking hell.
Oh, I'm so glad I used that med pack.
Yep. Okay, the professor gains 1 point of health and his critical wound is stabilized.
Neat.
Yeah.
You're no
Can I
longer
pull my
bleeding
finger
out.
out of his wound?
Yeah, you can do a first aid check of your own.
All right, I'm gonna try and pull my finger out of your wound to stop the bleeding.
Oh, my God.
Use it there to plug it up.
He only has 3 health. Is this really a good idea? No.
And
Oh,
unfortunately, you are unable to treat him any further. You just pull your finger out of his wound. It doesn't bleed anymore, but unfortunately, you're unable to offer any more relief. Professor, would you like to tell the others what you just experienced?
Is he stable?
He's stable now. Can talk, he can move, he's
Regretting his choices.
probably doesn't want to put the glasses on again.
Here, just tell me what you saw. I was like, slowly just to put it over his face.
Big Dave's head cocks to the side with a twinkle in his eyes and goes, "Fucking hell, Liam."
There are
Liam?
some
Who is
things
this
that
Liam?
don't
I am
matter.
man incognito.
Professor, I would like you to make an intelligence check, please.
Oh.
Let's see.
That is a
Some
10.
things-
That
Your
is.
mind immediately flashes back to earlier that day in the library, that strange tome warning you of a creature that exists beyond this reality. Believe you've just encountered it.
My God. Yes,
I would like everyone
Great.
present to
God.
please make a Cthulhu Mythos check.
everyone?
Yes,
That's
because everyone's got the
Everyone.
That is. What is
fail from Clark, but that's okay.
That is a pass.
Pass. All right. How did Scaly Pete do?
Yeah, no, Scaly Pete ain't making it.
Right. We got 1 pass out of 4. Okay. You believe, in some of the research you've conducted over the past few months, you believe you've read of something like this, and with lowering your voice to nearly a whisper, you inform the group that you have just been attacked by a dimensional shambler.
Just sadly just shake my head and just ramble and start talking in French, going, there are some things man is just not meant to mess with.
And is there anything else you would like to do in the mausoleum?
Yes,
Emily,
open the other tomb.
All right, open the other coffin. All right, Professor, would you like to do a strength check to open it, please?
How about we just stop the professor?
No. Hey, that's a pass. That's a 2. That's a 2. I am yeeting the
Big Dave leaves the room because Big Dave's had enough of professor shit.
Big Dave, if you'd like to stop him, you have to roll a 1.
Yep.
As I said, Big Dave is leaving the room.
Yeah, Big Dave's leaving the room again. You grunt, and despite the pain and the wounds, you push away the stone slab on Emily's coffin. And inside, you find what appears to be an odd sight. A normal woman's skeleton, but you notice that her ribs are slightly distended. I would like you to do an anthropology check, please.
Do I have anthropology?
Yes, I believe you do.
Yes, I do. Fantastic. It's probably the first time I've used this.
Yay.
Yes, that is a hard pass.
Way her ribs are distended suggests that she was perhaps recently pregnant at the time of her death, which would make sense given that the stillbirth of Jeremy happened only a couple of months before the double murder. But still, for her skeleton to be distended that long after pregnancy suggests that there was something unusual about the pregnancy.
Something unusual about the pregnancy, eh? Okay. Is there anything else in the coffin?
No, just her. But I would like you to do another anthropology check, please.
Okay. That is another hard pass.
You notice on her neck bone a large gash in the bone. Telltale sign that she died by her throat being slit. But you recall the articles about the double murder did not mention this fact, and furthermore, the angle and direction of the cut implies that it was a self-inflicted wound.
Oh.
Of course, this has to take a dark turn somewhere.
The plot thickens.
Clearly, this child was definitely not a
not of this world.
Deal. No.
That appears to be everything you could possibly find in the mausoleum. Would you like to join Big Dave outside?
Yes.
Yeah, definitely leaving.
Yep. As you leave the mausoleum, you notice that the sky is starting to turn crimson with the oncoming sunset. Would you like to return to your hotel and rest for the night before you investigate the manor?
Yes.
That's probably a really good idea, considering the professor has like 3 health left.
Professor would like to tend to his wounds.
I'd like
Yes.
to lie down now.
And while doing that, can I try to study that book again?
Yes. So you get in your car and you drive back to the hotel, and by the time you drive all the way to the other side of Boston, to the outer suburb where the hotel is, the sun has already gone down and dusk is beginning to swallow up the land. Yeah, come on. That's probably the car Big Dave drives. You immediately park the car, enter your hotel room, dump down your stuff, and attend to the professor's wounds a little more. Scaly Pete immediately crosses over to the kitchen, gets out his stained pot, and fills it with water and places it on the stove. So I would like Scaly
Gumbo
Pete
time.
Scaly Pete to do a cook gumbo check, and I would like the Professor to do a Cthulhu Mythos check.
Alright, come on, baby.
As I say, everyone else is like going, "Oh my god, we need to tend to his
What is that?
business."
What is that? What is that?
You're
Yes!
super-
That is a pass.
Pass. Okay. And how did
What's
the cook gumbo check go?
Push that. Oh, that's a hard pass.
Okay. The gumbo that Scaly Pete provides for dinner restores 1d3 sanity to all of you.
Oh, 1d3, yeah.
I was gonna say, you know what they say when you've been attacked by an interdimensional creature from another plane of existence? Have some gumbo.
Oh.
Ooh, I got 3.
Yay!
God dang it.
I would.
Gumbo.
I'll roll for Clark and see how
I was
much.
gonna say the professor probably would have gotten more, but after today's efforts, he doesn't deserve it.
Oh, 3 sanity for Clark Kempf. Clark Kempf, I would like you to do a spot hidden check, please.
Oh no.
What have you done?
We're in a hotel room now, aren't we?
Yes,
Yeah.
you're eating
Yes.
dinner.
You're finding out what's in the
Never
dinner.
mind. I realized what was about to. I was about to say what the fuck.
13, yeah, you pass.
Mine.
Okay, as you dig your spoon into the bowl of gumbo, Clark Kempf, you notice something, notice a shred of black floating in it, and you pull it out, and you see what appears to be a shred of fabric with the word Miskatonic written on it, the university that Professor teaches.
Okay.
And of
Go
that
back to
3,
eating.
yep, of that 3 sanity you gained, you lose 1. So you gain 2. Okay, and
What?
Alright.
The gumbo.
Alright, I'll be back in a
Now-
second, just have to get a drink.
Why does everyone
There
question
anything-
Gumbo? Doesn't it well?
is there anything that Big Dave would like to do before you all go to sleep for the night?
Group hug.
Big Dave was curl up on the couch and sleep. And maybe suck my thumb.
I imagine you not even using the couch. I imagine like Big Dave just curls up at the foot of someone else's bed.
Big Dave curls up in the corner. It rocks. Just
Yeah, I was gonna
continues
say-
to rock.
I was gonna say we probably gave him like some extra blankets and a pillow for something
Yeah.
while he's down there.
I would like Clark.
That's what I'm doing.
Well, I would like Clark Kempf to make a photography check, please.
I was gonna say it makes you feel any better. I probably don't even need a bed. I mean, I'm more than
Yeah, you
happy
just
to take a
sleep on the
I can
kitchen
take-
floor.
So I'll sleep
All
on
right,
the floor,
Clark.
I'll sleep in the bathtub. I don't give a shit.
Clark Kempf, before you go to bed that night, you head into the dark bathroom and use the sink as a pool to develop photos you took earlier that day. You hang them up on the medicine cabinet, and they will be fully developed by the morning. Professor,
Yes.
you study the book about the dimensional shambler, and you notice, you glean one piece of information. So the dimensional shambler only sometimes enters our realm. It requires a bridge between our world and its, which is presumably what those glasses were. And as you read a passage in the book, you thank yourself that you were only attacked and not, as the book claims, impregnated with its young.
Oh my god.
Your arsehole will take on new life.
Well, I was gonna say this might explain a few things.
Death by
Do you-
Snoozle.
Yeah, do you
Oh,
inform the
God.
others about this?
I do. I honestly
God,
do.
That means the wife was impregnated by a fucking shambler. Oh god.
Gentlemen, upon further study of this book, I found out that the beast that attacked me through those glasses was, in fact, what this book calls a shambler. And that's not the worst of it. From deducting...
Yeah, I'll do.
from putting 2 and 2 together and coming up IV, the Shamblers not only attack, but they seem to kidnap and impregnate. Which is, one, good for me, but 2 that might be some information about that missing stillborn in our dear our dear lady's death. Mon Dieu,
The
yes.
suspicion begins to take hold in all your minds that perhaps what Emily Mondieu gave birth to was not a stillborn child, but in fact the abomination offspring of a creature from another dimension.
Of course it is.
You then retire to bed. Sweet dreams. Professor,
Yeah.
you gain 1 HP. So he now has 4 HP back. Still not a lot, but you know, he's a bit closer, a bit further away from death's door. You will waken early the next morning after a night of troubled dreams of glasses and deformed infants and pregnant women with monsters bursting out of their distended bellies.
Yeah, it seems really appropriate that you chose Mondieu for the last name, considering
Yeah,
Mondieu
I think
literally translates
I know
to
it means
my
my God.
God.
Yeah, it's
Fun
probably
lesson for everyone today.
when that birth happened. They
Right,
probably all
right.
shouted their last name.
Mon Dieu!
Clark Kempf goes to the bathroom as soon as he wakes up, and the photos he took yesterday have developed. He places them in his coat for further study. You make a mead. Yep.
So have we already been informed? Like, do our characters have been informed of what's
Yeah,
what the professor has seen?
I've told everyone.
You've pieced that together yourselves. That's what you've put together so far.
It's
So
bad.
what I'm thinking about, can I break the lenses, or can I take the concrete lenses and put them over my camera?
Oh,
Like a
try.
Prometheus?
I see what you're going at that.
It's a very good idea, actually.
Yeah.
So that way we can't get attacked, and the first point of contact is between my camera and dimensional shadow
yes.
realm.
Would
doing that bring them into our physical plane, though?
You don't know this. You don't know whether it could very possibly do that, but you don't know for sure. But you do understand that if he does this, and he will then be able to take photos of interdimensional creatures with his camera.
Interdimensional camera.
Yes.
This
So,
is like the DSLR of the future.
Clark Kemp, I would like you to please, first of all, make a photography check.
Is this not the most amazing idea ever?
No, that's
It
actually
is.
really,
Actually a very
really good.
idea. And that's a pass. Okay, I would now require somebody to make a mechanical repair check.
Oh, I don't believe I have.
Anybody, you've all got 20 base, so it's
I've
fine.
got 45 on mechanical repair.
Yeah, up to
Oh,
you.
Big
Go
Dave
for it.
can do it. You hand the camera and the lens that are now disassembled to Big Dave.
Don't break it.
You know, just because you've said that, I just broke it.
Yep.
Would you like to push it?
It's gonna
Yes.
break if I push it, isn't it?
If you push it and it fails, yeah, you'll break the lenses.
Can anybody else come in and try and have a shot at it?
I've got the most out of all of us.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
we all
got the
got
most
based,
mechanical
you know?
It's
repair.
definitely got the best
Yeah.
chance of doing it without breaking it.
Smithy just said, if only you had someone with high mechanical
I know,
repair.
if only Smithy was here.
Yeah.
Smithy, break the fourth wall. Get in here.
Back out of the mental hospital.
Am I
Do you
pressing it?
want to write a letter to the mental hospital and wait 2 to 3 months for detailed instructions to come back to tell you how to do it?
Step 1. Obtain WD-40.
Am I doing this or what?
Are you gonna do it? Or are you guys okay with the lenses being broken if he fails?
Well, we kind of need them. That's...
Yeah, I'd say go for it.
Fuck it, go for it. Worst case scenario, don't die.
Hey!
Okay.
Hey.
That's a critical.
Big Dave.
Big
Big Dave sits there with the Big Dave sits there with the disassembled camera and the glasses, and he carefully removes the red lenses and attaches them to the lens of the camera on the inside of the camera, and then puts the camera back together, and he hands it proudly to Clark Kent with a big smug smile on his face.
So what can we see the lenses in our room?
Yes, you now, would you like to test it out? Make a photography check, please.
Alright, try this one out. Yeah, doesn't work.
Would you like to push it?
Yeah, we'll push it.
My God!
You snap a photo. You snap a photo of the professor because he's the closest to you. And although you can't see anything through the viewfinder, you can't see any hint of anything otherworldly through the viewfinder, but you then immediately take the camera to the bathroom, and over the course of the next 3 hours, you develop the picture you took, and just before lunch, you come out of the bathroom and show the picture around. I would like everybody to make a send check, please.
But if it's a shambler, would I have to make another one? Because I've already seen it.
You'll get a lesser pass.
But damn, I passed.
Alright, where's my stuff? Okay. Yes, that's a pass.
Okay, I would like everyone who passed to take 1d3 sand, please.
Well, dang.
Even me?
That's a 2. That's a 2.
I've already seen it. Seen it though.
My gumbo was
No, but you haven't. Yeah, Professor, you only lose 1.
Okay.
In the photo, you see the professor sitting at the dinner table, and behind him, standing like so close to him that it nearly is right over his shoulder, you see the gangly skeletal form of the dimensional shambler.
Wow. Can't hide from him, can we?
No, jeez! Alright, 1 second, Edio3828, thank you so very much for the follow, and welcome to the Metal Crew.
Hi.
At the very least, it appears to be following the professor.
Oh, I've got a fan.
Casually start slowly pulling out the machete back out of my holster, just... Yeah.
Wait, he can't impregnate me, why is he following me?
You have no idea, but you at least are slightly calmed by the thought that he has no means of getting to you.
Yes.
Unless you bridge his dimension with your own.
I was gonna say,
we take out your eyes.
following us now.
Alright, everyone's talking
Yeah.
at once. My God.
Sorry. Yeah.
Oh.
M2, what did you want?
I was gonna say, it's great that, we can't do anything to us unless we bridge the dimension, but, that still doesn't cover us from the fact that this thing is now following our every move.
Yes.
I've got an idea.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay, what we can do is that maybe the next 3 or 4 months, we do really mundane things like go to the shops, maybe to the doctor. Or the
He gets bored and leaves.
We bore him to find somebody else.
He gets bored and leaves. Yeah, so it's just after lunchtime. Are you guys ready to go to Monju Mansion?
Yes.
And put this mystery to rest?
Not as ready as I was 5 hours ago.
All right.
At least
do we
have
want
a way.
First aid kits?
Yeah, first aid kit has been used, unfortunately, but it's okay because Big Dave is first aid even without the kit, so...
Big Dave.
Alright, can for the hell of it, can I try medical
First aid on yourself?
Aid, yes.
Yep, go ahead.
Yes, that is pass.
Okay, you now have 5 HP.
Do you want me to give it a go, or would you rather I not put my hands on you while you...
It's okay, I believe all my wounds have closed up, I can't get an infection.
Might be a good idea to save some first aid uses for later.
Yeah,
Just
fair
putting it
enough.
out there.
Big
It's only
Dave
the
will
beginning
save
of the
his for
day.
later.
Yeah. He's at 5
But what?
HP.
What
Just
the
keep
fuck
him out
could
of.
go wrong?
Okay. You head out of the hotel room and you lock the door, and then you climb back into Big Dave's car and begin to drive towards the Mondieu estate. I would like Scaly Pete to do a navigate check, please.
What's curious? What's Scaly Pete's navigate?
My navigate is where we did 60.
Yeah, he's the highest out of all of you with it.
I'll be back in a second, guys.
And it's a hard pass.
So it only takes about an hour, just over an hour, to make your way through Boston to the Mondieu estate, which is just off Bunker Hill, in the middle of a rather old and rather upscale gated community. The crumbling estate has been reduced over the decades to a small yard surrounded by an 8-foot-high stone wall. The only entrance to the grounds is through the old wooden carriage gates found at the end of a narrow street that winds uphill out of the neighborhood and through the slums that comprise the neighboring part of town. As you all approach the gates to the manor, they slowly creak open, and then a young boy of about 13 with red hair and freckles emerges. He looks at you all approaching him, and his eyes go wide, first with what seems like shock, but then he quickly takes hold of himself and nervously waves at you.
Wait, who's waving at us?
A small child, no older than 13.
Yeah, sure.
Big Dave waves back. Hi, little friend.
I would like Big Dave to make a charm check, please.
He doesn't need to make a charm check. He is the definition of charm.
The boy immediately seems to calm down. He shoots you a smile and he waves back, and then he says, "Gee, misters, I didn't know old Miss Mondieu had visitors."
Yes, my boy. We just want to have a short catch up with her and just a few words. Well,
He says,
old
"Oh,
acquaintances
okay."
of her.
Says, "Oh, okay, well, you can just go in. She is in there on her own. I've just got done delivering her groceries."
Aren't you a good boy?
Would you like to ask him anything about this?
Yes, I would. Crap, let me bring up what notes I had again. Oh god, it's all jumbled. Crap, I should have labeled these properly. Is anyone else taking notes?
Nope.
Oh crap. Let's go, my boy, how has the fine madam been lately?
He looks at you and he says, "Well, okay, I suppose. I mean, if her groceries are anything to go by, then at least she's got an appetite." He says, "Look, every week I come here, mister, and I deliver bread, milk, and all her other things, but she really likes chicken, that old lady." He says, "Standard order is seven whole chickens."
Oh god.
Oh,
No.
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 Do you happen to talk to her, or do you just drop it off and leave?
Says, "Oh, she's a bit creepy. I learned not to ask questions because I asked questions once and she's just told me I wouldn't want to know. And anyway, the delivery boy who worked at the grocer before me, he told me that back then she used to order the same thing too. So she's been pretty much ordering 7 chickens every week for a bunch of years now."
Big Dave would like to ask if there's been a week where she hasn't gotten her chickens that would be the same week as the break-in.
Make a persuade check, please, Big Dave.
That is a hard pass.
The kid says, no, we've been delivering the chickens every week. It's just when I dropped them off today, there was a horrible smell coming from inside the kitchen, and I swear I saw last week's groceries just sitting under the table like she hadn't even touched them.
But the chickens, were they there, or does she seem to eat the chickens?
Shrugs and he says, I don't know what they do with them, mister. I assume she eats them, but I couldn't imagine what it would be like to eat a chicken every day of the week for dinner. She's not a big lady, mister.
Yes, that would seem a bit dull. Just having all the chickens and leaving all the groceries that you, a strong boy like yourself, lifts every day.
He shrugs once again and he says, well, get my 20 cents for doing the delivery, and that's all I really care about.
You
ask questions.
Well, you know what, my young boy, I just pull out $15 and give him.
Oh, I was gonna give him money as well, but you clearly beat me to the punch.
I hand the boy $15.
I'd like you to make a credit rating check, please.
This is gonna be like fucking Christmas for this kid. $15 back.
That is. Wait, what's my credit rating? Credit rating is. Yeah, that's just a normal pass.
The kid takes the money and his face lights up and he says, wow, geez, mister. Well, I can buy that BB gun and that go-kart now. He says, I guess I can head on down to the grocer and tell old Mr. Rembry that I quit.
Oh, no.
Oh, man. I've only encouraged him to keep working his friggin' job.
Well, my good sir, my good sir. Well, I'm speaking to the boy like a
Young
professor.
chap.
My young lad. Think of this as an investment. I would highly recommend to keep working. Put that money, put at least $10 away, and use the rest, and just keep working, keep going at it. And I'm pretty sure, in a few years, you'll be rich.
He nods and he says, okay, mister, that's good advice. Oh, but as thanks for giving me this big tip, I think I should tell you, since she's your friend and all, but I think that Miss Mondu may not be well. Like, she was looking at me like I wasn't even there, and she called me Ambrose.
Oh. Yes, well, did you see anything run physically on her skin?
Says, no, she's just old and wrinkly like normal.
Well, did she say anything else to you, my dear boy?
He said, no, she just called me Ambrose and asked what I've been doing upstairs in my bedroom, and I said, oh geez, I don't know, miss. I don't know, miss, and then I just dropped off the groceries and I left.
Well, thank you very much for that extra bit of information. I'll throw him another $10.
He takes it, and then he smiles, and he just tears running down the street.
This kid's been working for 20 cents a pop. You just give him $25. He's pretty much got enough food to feed his family for a month.
You then push through the creaky wooden gates. I'm gonna have my machete out regardless. Yep, okay. Scaly Pete's got his machete readied. Once inside the gates, you see a decaying manor house surrounded by a weed-choked yard. The mansion is commanded by a third-story tower located at one end of the structure, and its diamond-shaped windows look out over the city. Traces of the driveway that served the home can be seen to circle the disused well in the center of the yard and extends to the old carriage house, long collapsed at the far corner of the property. What would you like to do?
Pray. I suppose we should ready our guns, shouldn't we?
Yeah.
Yes, if you wish, you may ready your gun.
Yeah, I'll just.
Big Dave likes knocking on doors.
Before you knock on the door, or do you want to search the grounds first?
Yeah, before you do that, the professor would like to do a spot hidden.
All right, I'd like all of you to do spot hidden checks, please.
Yeah, no.
Ooh, can I push that,
nice.
please?
Big Dave,
Go
pass it.
ahead.
Oh, thank God, that was 99.
Okay, so that's
Roll
2 passes out of
96.
4. That's
Yeah,
enough
yes,
to
that's a pass anyway.
I
Okay.
don't see shit. Too busy with machete trying to not freak out.
First thing you notice is the old well. You take a look inside the well and you notice it has been plugged with large stones, probably done years ago to avoid accidents. You see something small and white buried buried in between the stones, and you reach in and you pull it out and retrieve a broken chicken bone.
Oh no.
The other thing of note you find is you can just see under the rubble of the old carriage house what appears to be a wooden trap door, but it's covered in decades worth of rubble and debris and will take a considerable effort to move it to gain access.
Hmm.
Should we just do a strength check, or should we check the grounds further?
You can check the grounds further, but if you'd like to try to move the rubble, you'll have to all attempt a strength check.
Shall we?
I think before we do anything else, we might want to check the grounds further.
All right. I would like you all to. I would like the professor to do a spot hidden check, please.
Just normal?
Just normal.
Alright, that is... Oh, that's a 16. That's a hard pass.
So you notice scattered around the grounds in various places what appear to be shards of crunched up chicken bones.
Check for a second. Can I give the professor my camera? If he wants to check the grounds further, give the professor my camera and look through the viewfinder for the lens.
Yes, he can do that.
Wouldn't I need photography to use it?
Well, you can just look through the viewfinder and not take any photos.
Oh yeah, I could do that. Yeah.
Project Zero, initiate.
No, I'm more thinking of. Do you remember that game on PS2? The
Fatal Frame.
Fatal Frame. Thank you.
Yeah, also known as Project Zero.
That's
M1 was
right. Yeah.
about
Okay.
that. Because in Australia it's called Project Zero, but in the rest of the world it's Fatal Frame.
I completely.
One where you take photos of ghosts.
Yep, completely forgot. It was called Project Zero here.
Yeah. So you look around the grounds, and in a couple of places among the grounds, you buried in these stones and overgrown grass, you find shards of what appear to be crunched up, broken up chicken bones. You also notice at the back of the grounds, at the top of the wall, an odd yellowish stain, sort of like dried mucus.
Can I perform a
Big Dave
science?
remembers this from what the policeman told me.
Can I perform a science check?
Yes, go ahead.
You have to lick it.
Scrape some off and...
I'm not gonna goddamn lick it.
Analysis.
That's a pass.
Okay, you immediately
opinion.
feel ill as you scrape some of the mucus off and just break it up and look at it, crumble it in your hands, and you determine without reasonable doubt that this is amniotic fluid. A fluid from a pregnant woman.
Yeah, even I wouldn't want to.
Don't take that for the gumbo.
No, even I have my limits.
Big Dave would like to ask if it looks like the same stuff as in all the reports.
It certainly seems to resemble it, at the very least.
Big Dave thinks we should call the police and let them know our findings.
Yeah, I'm all for any kind of
Yeah,
backup right now.
I agree with Big Dave here.
Oh, there might be a phone inside the manor that you can use. Just ask the old lady nicely.
Yes, we might need.
Big Dave will answer nicely.
All right, Big Man, you're up front.
Would you like to knock on the door, or would you like to try and move the rubble off the carriage house?
Knock on the door or come back?
What do you guys think?
Either way, spooky. We can probably get some more, I don't know, information from moving the rubble.
Might be able. There might be. Yep, there might be something under there. But there might not be. It could just be, you know, an old pantry or something.
I mean, we've already
feeling very suspicious of that now.
Oh, true. But we've already ascertained that for us to see the Shambler, it needs to be seen through the view light. Oh, there's a distance between us and the next realm.
Yes.
So
can't be physically harmed by the Shambler. You are reasonably certain of this.
Alright, so lift up the rocks? Are we going with that?
Okay. I'd like everyone to do a strength check, please.
Oh, these stories.
That is a pass.
Hard pass.
Pass. Yep, okay. It takes the better part of 2 hours.
Oh, jeez.
But you've finally managed to move enough of the rubble away to be able to access the old trap door. Grab the wooden door and pull it open with a loud creak. And underneath, you see what appears to be a stone staircase leading down into the earth.
Huh.
Dave doesn't like this.
Yes, now that I think we've uncovered it, that could be an escape route later, we never know. So
It could be.
I think we might want to go to the front door now.
Very well. Very well. Okay, I guess Big Dave's knocking on the door because that's what he wants to do.
Big Dave loves knocking on doors.
You climb up the front stairs onto the porch, and then Big Dave knocks on the dusty wooden door once and twice and a third time, and then you hear the sound of a doorknob turning, and a rather emaciated, decrepit-looking old woman pokes her head out, and she says, "Oh, yes? I wasn't expecting visitors."
Hello, ma'am. We have some questions about the recent disappearances, and I would also like to make a phone call if able to.
Make a charm check, please.
Oh, God damn it. Oh, my God.
Oh,
Old
wow.
lady, the old lady smiles and she says, "Oh, well, isn't that just a ghastly situation with those murders?" She pushes the front door open and she says, "Yes, I do have a telephone indoors. If you'd like to come in and use it, and I will help you as best I can, and I will also put some tea on the stove."
I was gonna say, I feel like a 9 should basically just pinch your cheeks and hand you some free candy.
Pretty much.
Just the most adorable little dick.
But she gives you access to the house, and she, as she opens the door to let you in, she smiles and she says, "Oh, and my name's Sarah, by the way. Sarah Mondew."
My name's Big Dave. These are my friends.
She smiles and she says, "It's lovely to meet you, Big Dave. I always love meeting friends of Ambrose." And then she ushers you into the house, into the manor. Do you follow her in?
Yes.
Guess we're doing this now.
Yep, brandish your guns, everyone. Guns at the ready.
You notice that she appeared. You have noticed that she didn't appear to even notice that some of you were brandishing weapons.
Brandish your guns.
Oh no!
They're in like ready, aren't they?
You notice that she appears. You notice that she.
Oh,
you
jeez.
follow her into the manor. She leads you through a cluttered entrance hall into a very cramped, very crowded kitchen filled with wooden crates, broken bits of furniture, and knickknacks. And she nervously clears a spot for you to all sit. Then she begins to busy herself making tea on the stove. And then she looks and she says, "Oh, I have to go to the larder and get some milk." And she opens a door going off the kitchen and closes it behind her. You wait for your hostess to return. You see that the entire first floor of the mansion seems to be dusty and dirty. Piles of rags and boxes of old magazines litter the floor and tables. The only exceptions are the kitchen and dining room, both of which are heaped with dirty dishes. I would Professor to do a psychology roll here.
Oh, it's Professor's time to shine. Oh my god, that's a 3.
Yes.
Yeah, you see based on her mannerisms and the state of the house that the woman is clearly suffering from age-onset dementia.
Oh. Can I check the stove to see what she's cooking?
Yep. I'd like you to make a cook gumbo check, please.
Learn gumbo recipe unlocked.
Oh, that's a hard pass. Actually, no. That's a critical pass.
Notice that she has put a pot on the stove, but it's not filled with water. Instead, there's just a couple of tea bags sitting in the empty pot, starting to actually burn from the heat.
Just going to very slowly, very carefully, just turn the stove off and just sit back down.
Alright,
Dave thinks we should call police now.
Yeah. While he's doing that, can I do a spot hidden while she's still gone?
Yes, make a spot hidden check, please.
Definitely call police.
That's a 24. What kind of pass is that for me? Yep, that's a hard pass.
As the others go and sit back in the table, you have a look around and you notice a terrible smell emanating from the dining room. You cross into the dining room, it's just as cluttered as the kitchen. The table is full of dirty dishes. And then you see, by the back door leading outside to the backyard, several paper shopping bags grocery bags that have just been left in front of the door. You walk up and take a look and make a constitution check, please.
Shit, I should have gone with
that is... What's my con at? That is... Can I spend 1 luck point?
Yes.
Okay, good. Good. And that's a pass then.
You are almost stupefied by the vile smell of decay emanating from the bags. And you open up one of the bags, and inside you see 7 rotting chicken carcasses.
Oh, lovely.
The receipt taped to the outside of the bag indicates that this was delivered last week. Make a psychology check, please.
That is a 6. I'm mastering psychology today.
Sarah has simply forgotten to put these groceries away.
Exactly.
That would be the thing hanging over your shoulder, responding, I believe.
Alright, can I, look around the room with the, looking through the camera?
Yes, I would like you to make a spot hidden check, please.
That's a 7.
Jesus.
You look around, you move around the kitchen and the dining room, your eyes clasped on the viewfinder of the camera, and then you notice the door, heading towards the door to the larder, to the pantry where Sarah went, is the dimensional shambler, you catch only one glimpse of it as its form begins to seemingly phase through the larder door, following Sarah down into the basement.
Big Dave thinks we should call the cops right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, lower the camera. Gentlemen,
Big Dave doesn't care what Professor says. Big Dave is...
gentlemen, I do believe we need to call the police.
Big Dave's been saying that for 5 minutes.
Yes.
Scared of Pete, don't
But I'm
care.
pretty sure.
Dave is getting very frustrated with Professor.
Scared of Pete agrees with the big man. We done this lady is done off a rocket.
Okay.
She's crazier than a raccoon in a paper bag.
In that case, I would like for Scaly Pete to make a hard navigate check.
Oh yeah, because I gotta try and find the fucking phone. Crap.
Wouldn't it be spot hidden?
He's got to navigate through all the clutter and all the shit she's
Okay.
left the line around.
You stepped over his cat.
Freaking one.
Okay. Scaly Pete, you examine basically the entirety of the first floor. It's terrible. It's, piles of rags and boxes, old magazines and newspaper, old furniture cluttered everywhere. And then in the back of what appears to be the lounge room, although considering all the boxes, old tables, and discarded shopping bags and pieces of paper, it definitely does not look like a lounge room. You see, taking pride of place on a very dusty coffee table, a rotary phone that looks like it has not been used in, at the very least, several months.
Check to see if the wires are still attached.
The hell do
Or
you
you
do
could
shit
just
for that?
lift it up and see if it rings.
You lift it up and there is no dial tone. You place the receiver back on the phone and then you lift it up and you notice that the connection of the phone line into the wall has become broken with disuse. And it is possible to fix it, but someone will have to do a mechanical repair check.
Yeah,
I miss that shaky guy.
You hear that, Smithy? We all miss you.
Oh my god.
No.
Oh my god.
It's almost like they want us to take the safest option out of you.
So Big Dave,
Imagine Big Dave just looks at it, just licks the cables and jams it back into the wall. Goes,
Big Dave, you creep over the clutter to where the phone is, and you notice the phone cord has been ripped out of the plaster, and you'll need to recouple up the connection. It's going to take about 20-30 minutes to do, but it's not a hard repair to make. While he's making that repair, the other two of you who are still in the kitchen, seated at the kitchen table when the larder door opens and Sarah returns carrying a glass bottle of milk. She opens the cupboard and pulls 4 mugs out and places them on the kitchen table. And then she looks at you and she says, "I'll just serve you your tea now, dears." And she opens the bottle of milk and begins to pour viscous yellow liquid into the mugs.
Oh, yummy.
He then takes a seat opposite both of you and starts humming to yourself. And then she appears to remember something and she says, "Oh, yes. Didn't you say you were investigating something?"
Yeah.
Professor, this one's all yours.
Oh god, yes, we were, investigating some, child murders that, has been going on around here recently. And I don't know why I've just started talking like a TV, anchorman.
She says, "Oh, those child murders. Oh, they're terrible. I've read about it in the newspaper. I hope the culprit is caught soon."
Well,
She says, why Ambrose would know how to put a stop to it. He was a very smart man, my brother.
Ambrose, yeah. Wait, Ambrose is, the dead one, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm just gonna play along. When's the last time that you spoke to Ambrose, my dear?
She says, "Oh, Oh, it was only yesterday. He said he was going to go and visit Emily in the hospital and make sure that she was doing fine when the little one arrives. And you know that she's drifting away into a dementia-fueled fantasy.
All right.
And you may attempt a psychoanalysis check to get her to become lucid again.
That is a hard pass.
You prompt her again using some choice psychological trigger words to jar her mind back to the present, and she smiles and she says, "Oh, I'm sorry, my mind wanders so much these days. My brother Ambrose, he was a wonderful man, smart and compassionate, and he was the neighborhood doctor, you see. Everyone looked up to him. Everyone wanted to be his friend. In fact, he was even a member of this society." She appears to think for a moment and says, "What did he refer to them as? The Brotherhood, I believe."
Yes, my dear. Is there anything you could tell me about this Brotherhood that it was part of?
She thinks for a moment and says, No, I'm sorry, I was never allowed to attend the meetings, but I do remember one summer, a man from the Brotherhood, apparently a good friend of Ambrose's, came to stay with us. This is long before he was even married to Emily, you see, and it was a European man, I think, a strange accent, and he mainly conversed in German, I believe, and he brought this young boy with him, and they stayed here for about a week, and then he left, and all Ambrose said is that the man from Europe was a high-up member of the Brotherhood community, and that the young boy was his ward, and they had come to Ambrose for education, I believe he said it was. He then says, "Oh yes, I remember now. The German man left Ambrose with a gift. It was this rather peculiar set of glasses."
Yes. We've heard about these glasses.
Damn spooky krauts.
Did he ever? What was so strange about these glasses, my dear?
She says, "Well, they were made out of stone, I believe, and Ambrose would never let me wear them." But then her voice trails off, and as if she's remembering something she'd rather not remember. Please make a psychotherapy check.
Psychotherapy?
Psychoanalysis check.
Okay, I was going to say, what? That's a 23. That is just a normal pass.
You place your hand on her and you click your fingers a few times and you press further. You coax her back.
Lady, fucking listen to me! Sorry.
She says, I remember one time when Ambrose was out, Emily decided to put on the glasses. When Ambrose returned, he found her in quite a state, and she was... Oh no! You notice a look of sheer terror dawn on Sarah's face, and she says, "Jeremy, oh, the poor little baby. I forgot to feed him last week." And she begins to hyperventilate.
A psychoanalysis again to try calm her down.
Right, it's going to be a hard psychoanalysis check this time.
That is a... No, sorry, that's a 16. I believe that's a hard. Let me double check.
Yep,
that's a hard.
I believe it is. What do you say to her?
Move, oh god, I almost spilled my dice. Move closer to her, just embrace her for a soft hug. And just like softly just pat her back and go, it's okay, dear. It's okay. Everything's gonna be just fine.
She leans forward and whispers. She leans forward and whispers in your ear. thing Emily gave birth to, it wasn't human. He says Emily went mad with the strain. Ambrose locked her in the bedroom upstairs, you see, and he tried to coax me to raise the child thing in the basement bathtub, but Emily, she would have none of it. She broke out of her bedroom and she found Ambrose's gun, and she shot him dead. Then she slit her throat. She leans back, and then she says, and I put the gun in Ambrose's hands. And I told the police that he had killed Emily and then himself, and Jeremy has resided in the well ever since. Oh, he's of no harm to anyone, as long as I give him a chicken a day, of course. I would like Scaly Pete Clark, Kempf, and the Professor to make send checks, please.
Alright. Oh, no, that's a D6. Oh, don't you love it when you just roll with the wrong dice? It's like, wait, why is that a 5? That is a pass.
Nope. That is not a pass for me. I'm not enjoying this story one fucking bit.
Very good storytelling, though.
Sometimes it's good if you
don't like no demon child.
Sorry, M2. Sorry, M1. I made you fail. Okay, so M1 and M2, you both lose 1d6, San. And Professor, you lose 1d3.
Oh,
I think that's just a 2. Whew. Roll like a 2. Really 1,
6.
2,
Oh,
you got so much sanity there. It's kind of negligible.
all right. I would like Clark Kempf to make an intelligence check, please.
And because I rolled max, do I have to do intelligence as well?
No. It's only if you lose more than 5 or more sanity that you have a chance of going temporarily insane.
Alright.
Oh no.
Is that a pass or a fail, M2? It is. I will look at his character sheet and it's a fail. He's lucky by 7 points.
Oh my
he
god.
Go, yeah, no, you don't you don't fully comprehend what's happening, so you don't go insane. You're fine. That's something you want to fail. You're fine.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, in the lounge room.
Before
Big
that.
Dave.
Yeah, before I do that, I just want to keep trying to calm her down and just get her a glass of water.
She seems to just sway back and forth, repeating the words, "Poor little baby, poor little baby." It seems utterly incoherent.
Some dynamite and blowing that well.
Alright, so can't get any more information over her.
Yeah, she seems to have
done.
Okay.
She seems to have been pushed beyond the line now.
Alright.
Meanwhile, in the lounge room, Big Dave has finished reconnecting the phone. Big Dave, you recognize the numbers. You look at the piece of paper and you match the numbers to the ones on the phone and you dial Detective Brick's number. The phone...
very good at making squiggly lines.
And the phone rings for a moment. Once, twice, 3 times, and then you hear a woman's voice say, "A Boston Police Department, this is Shirley speaking."
This is Big Dave calling for Detective Brick.
She says, "Oh, Detective Brick, yes, he mentioned you might be calling. Hold on, I'll put you through." You hear a click. There's a few minutes of silence, and then another click, and you hear Detective Brick's voice. Big Dave, so you found something, have you?"
Big Dave has found quite a few things lately. We are currently looking into... what's her name?
Sarah Mondieu.
We're currently looking into Sarah Mondieu's house. We have found a liquid substance that matches the murdered children.
And something in the well.
Yeah, and you saw something you saw chicken bone. You know there's something suspicious about the well, but you haven't been in the other room to hear the story. So you just tell him about the well.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Well, we did find chicken bones.
Yeah, you did.
Too.
Yes. Rick says, "God damn it. I was telling everybody that old haunted house had nothing to do with this. God, the papers are gonna have a field day about this. He says,
Big Dave.
okay.
Big Dave would also like to mention that there may be a... it may be linked to the Abattoir chicken theft.
He says, okay, look, I'll get a patrol car out straight away. I'll have them look into this. In the meantime, you and your investigator friends, well, you seem halfway capable, so if you find the culprit there, apprehending them if possible would be muchly appreciated.
Big Dave will try.
He says, I really appreciate your help, Big Dave, and good luck. And then he hangs up. You then proceed back into the kitchen where you see the others sitting at the kitchen table trying their best to console Sarah Mondieu, who's just rocking.
Oh no, Professor is
repeating.
controlling her. Me, I'm just making sure I got my dynamite on hand.
Yes. And she's just rocking back and forth. Poor baby, poor baby. Do you guys tell Big Dave, do you recount the story that she gave you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I go up to Big Dave and just kind of whisper it to him, because I don't want to... Yeah, don't want to make... don't want her freaking out more, because she seems like she's gone even more mentally unstable.
Yes.
Mhm.
So I'd like Big Dave to make a SAN check, please.
You know, this is where it goes horrible, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a fail.
Oh,
Alright,
no.
one-
The story more than I do.
1d6 sanity loss, please.
Big Dave hates this story even more than Scaly Pete.
Or okay, that's fine. That's fine. He's not going to go insane. He's fine. Okay, you now have you have technically 3 options. You have a bunch of options. You can go and drop dynamite in the well. You can head down that staircase you found, or you can thoroughly search the mansion for anything that may be of note.
The professor would like to go upstairs into the room where
Where
she was kept.
where Emily was kept.
Yeah, where
yes.
Emily was kept.
Is
and-
someone staying with the old lady?
Would anyone like to stay with the old lady?
Big Dave thinks the old lady can take care of herself. She's done well enough.
Yeah, good theory, but I'm also expecting if she's pushing to the brink of her sanity, if she decides to lash out, then someone should probably be keeping an eye on her.
Yeah, I'm thinking there might be a diary or something in her room, and I've got
There
the
very
most,
likely may be.
and I've got the
So
most
there are
library use.
You
So.
like evidence?
So there are 2 places in the house that you can search: the 2nd floor and the basement, where Sarah got the off milk from.
Big Dave
No, the
really
professor-
doesn't want to go down the basement.
Oh, the
Yeah,
professor wants to search upstairs.
Upstairs is fine. I'm not a fan of the basement.
Right?
Big Dave
Looks like
concurs.
Scaly Pete don't want to go down in the basement, no demon child. You never mentioned nothing about no demon child.
Looks like everyone's going upstairs then. Okay, I would like all 4 of you to do spot hidden checks, please.
That's a
Yeah.
pass. Is that a hard
An
pass?
extreme.
And that's a
pass.
No, that's just a pass.
10,000. That's a pass. Clark Kemp. What's a pass from Clark Kemp? Okay, so that's a party pass. Okay, so you head up to the 2nd floor, leaving Sarah to her own devices in the kitchen. And 2nd floor of the mansion is as messy as the rest, with the exception of Sarah's room, which is a little bit neater and decorated with photographs of movie stars that Sarah has clipped and pasted to the walls. Room where Dr. Mondieu supposedly kept his mad wife locked away is conspicuously empty. The only thing you notice is in the corner of the room a small metal tray with what appears to be very, very old residue from dried food. Portions of the wallpaper are torn down, and it looks as if the wallpaper was literally clawed off the plaster. The room has not been entered since the tragic double murder. At the end of the hallway is a door to presumably the master bedroom, but it is locked.
Come here, Archie. Right.
Would Clark Kempf like to make an attempt to unlock the master bedroom?
Oh, let's just do that then. Let's. I don't know actually. We'll find out. No, actually, I've got 8 luck.
All right, you can spend the 8 luck.
Or
Yep.
can I?
You can push it if you like, but you might. If you fail, you might break the lock and necessitate someone to violently push the door down.
Big
Does it
Dave
make
is
any
good for
difference
that.
at this point?
Yeah, but it doesn't really make any difference though.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's
All
push it.
Right?
Yeah.
5. Yep.
I was
You
gonna say,
attempt
did you want
to
me
pick-
try, but-
You attempt to pick the lock, and then you hear a click, and the lock pick fails to move. You have jammed the lock. Big Dave, strength check, please.
Knock, knock.
Boom.
Whoa,
Oh,
shit. Can I push that?
Ooh. Yeah, you can push it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, you ram into the door. It doesn't budge as first, it's jammed. But then you push further and manage to, with a loud crack, push it open. But you had to push so hard that you feel a pain in your shoulder and you appear to have pulled a muscle. You take 2 points of damage.
Oh dear.
Oh no.
The master
Dave, no.
Does the leather
armor,
jacket-
yeah, no, the armor won't do anything here. The master bedroom is furnished nicely, but coated with dust that indicates it hasn't been entered in a very long time. Beside the wardrobe is a doorway, and behind the doorway, you can see a narrow stairway coated with dust leading upstairs to the 3rd floor of the tower. Head one by one up the staircase, and you soon find yourself in a large pentagon-shaped stone room, mainly empty, except for what appears to be a workbench, a chemistry table, and in the middle of the room, a strange laboratory apparatus. The room is lit by diamond-shaped stained glass windows, and a stuffed alligator hangs from the ceiling. Wires. I would like Clark Kempf and the professor to make occult rolls, please.
That is a
I'm done.
Oh,
Yep.
Oh, yep.
Yeah, that's a pass for
Okay,
me.
so you both immediately recognize that this strange apparatus is an alchemy laboratory, and that many magical spells and concoctions were prepared here. They may have merely been superstitious rituals, or they may have been something actually harmful and sinister.
Can I do a science check?
Yes, you can.
That is a... Ooh, what is my science? I believe it's high anyway. That's passed by 2 points. That's 32.
Okay, you head over to the science table and you look at some of the chemicals on display, the remnants of old experiments, and you see mostly a collection of strange chemicals. Most of them appear to be unidentified, but there's some mundane things as well, such as salt and copper and mercury. Here's somebody was doing strange things here. One of note that appears to you is a jar filled to the brim with a strange, sickly greenish liquid and a silver spine.
Scaly Pete, do you want to check that out?
Yeah, Scaly Pete recognizes this. It is a Glucky spine, but
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
I get it. I saw him die. He died. Why are they one of these things here?
Yeah.
I would like you all to make Cthulhu Mythos checks, please.
Do I get an advantage because I know what this is?
Yes, you get an advantage,
And
Scaly Pete.
that's a fail for me.
Oh, that's a 4. I pass.
Yep, Scaly Pete passed. Okay, so Scaly Pete, with the professor's help, you sort through some of the chemicals here, and you discover that there is evidence that Ambrose, and perhaps maybe the society he was part of, made contact with various different mythos entities, from Glucky to dimensional shamblers to the great race of Yith, and even a strange fungus that appears to be of unearthly origin.
Out of
Sem one.
curiosity, for a second, are we?
Sorry?
I just want to get some clarity. So, are we? We're at the table right now, investigating the elements.
Yep, seeing what old
somebody
experiments the
take
guy had.
Please definitely
yeah.
be taking pictures
Yeah,
of this.
you're making a photography check, please.
It doesn't
I was
air in my camera.
Yeah, but you take it from him and take photos.
Do I
Okay.
see anything? Have you found it?
Are there any?
You
any,
see
like, notes or
nothing.
anything?
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you in a sec. You
Oh,
see
sorry.
nothing through the view. You see, you take some photos of the strange apparatus and the remnants of the experiments, and then through the viewfinder, you see, as the professor sorts through the objects on the table, you see behind him the dimensional shambler, but it is
Go
not
away,
facing
Archie.
him. Instead, the dimensional shambler is slowly crawling towards a dusty mirror in the corner of the lab.
Mm-hmm.
Smash it.
Oh no! Stay away
Smash
from
it.
here.
Smash
No,
You're
it.
gonna run up.
Smash
You're gonna run up and smash the mirror, or at least shout to
well-
smash the mirror.
M2, what did you say?
I believe I was just yelling "smash it" because I'm guessing that might count as a way for it to cross over.
Yeah, dimensional
Yes.
shamblers can come through mirrors and artwork.
Smash it,
Yep.
smash it, smash it, smash it, smash it, smash it, smash it,
Alright,
smash
I'm
it,
gonna
smash
draw
it,
my
smash
gun
it.
and just shoot it.
Right, make a firearms check, please.
We're done with subtlety.
Good. No, we
Well,
need.
unless you can't aim.
Sorry.
What is your firearms at anyway? Oh, never mind.
50. Yeah, he passed. Said it's a normal pass, so. And as you see a shadow begin to move behind the dust on the surface of the mirror, you fire. Crash! The sound of exploding, shattering glass. The mirror shatters. Piles of glass scattering over the floor, and then there is no more movement.
I suppose the rest of us are very surprised since we had no idea what was going on. You just
Yeah, anyone
randomly
gonna
pulled your gun and shot the mirror.
I'm gonna tell you. I just looked up the word dimensional shambler on Google, and it came up with about a mirror, and I'm like, oh shit! In the painting.
Yep. I know all about those fuckers.
Yeah. So he tells you that he saw the shambler making its way to the mirror, and on a whim, he remembered what the professor told him about the bridging of dimensions and shot at the mirror, and that appears to have blocked it from entering, at least for now. I would like the professor to please make a spot hidden roll.
That is a 52. That is a pass.
Okay. You continue searching through the laboratory, and then on the desk opposite the alchemy apparatus, you find a leather-bound book.
Oh.
A sticker on the front simply reads Dr. Ambrose Mondieu. You flip it open, and it appears to be almost entirely written in French. However, as you open it, you see two small envelopes fall down that were slipped inside. As you open these envelopes, you extract two letters that appear to be written in German.
Ugh. All right.
Oh,
You're going to need someone to read the diary and someone to read the letters. I know that the only one here who can French, and I know the only one who speaks German here is Clark.
Ah.
Clark gets
And
the
there's some
letters
big
like a
agenda.
journal.
All right, so I would like, first of all, Scaly Pete to do a Cajun check, please. And also I'd like Clark to do a German check.
Just
Archie,
basically
go
just-
away.
Ooh. Would you like to push that or spend luck, Clark?
What's my German language?
German is 40.
I'll just spend maybe. Oh, look, I'll push it one more time.
Push it, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I rolled a 7. So I basically
You're
just nudged
fine.
the professor. I just nudged
Oh,
the professor.
yep.
And go, oh, nice. I
Clark
just basically
passed.
nudged the professor and gone, excusez-moi, mon ami. Take the book off
What
and
would you
go,
guys like to hear first? The diary or the letters?
I'm going to the diary.
Okay. You glean the following from the diary. Dr. Mondieu was a member of a secret brotherhood that dates back to ancient times. This brotherhood awaited the birth of a prophetic soul who they referred to only as the Child. Brotherhood was headed by a Baron Hauptmann who resides somewhere in Transylvania. Dr. Mondieu discovered the birth of the Child in 1880 and immediately notified Baron Hauptmann in Europe. In 1890, Baron Hauptmann and young Master Edward, the Child, came to live with Mondieu for several months before Hauptmann took him away to Europe. When he returned to Europe, Hauptmann took young Master Edward with him and left a special gift for Mondieu. An entry dated October 23rd, 1890, tells of a mysterious accident involving his wife and the gifted spectacles. The final entry tells of the birth of Jeremy on July 3rd, 1891, after an 11-month pregnancy. It does not describe him, or, as Sarah said, his attempts to keep him alive in a tub in the basement. Now, the letters. Clark translates the letters for you. The first one reads, Dear Dr. Mondieu, congratulations on your discovery. All you have told me indicates that this child is the one.
Go away, Archie.
All you have told me indicates that this child is the one. Praise Nyarlathotep. The prophecy will be fulfilled. I am enclosing copies of the lineage you have requested. This should verify beyond a doubt that the boy is the one. He bears the mark and the stars are right. Hail Shub-Niggurath. Hail Yog-Sothoth. Hail Azathoth. Hail Cthulhu. Baron Hauptmann. The second letter reads, Dr. Mondieu, everything is moving according to plan. I should be arriving in America on May 27th to take charge of young Master Edward. I hope you have properly prepared the boy for the journey. We must not lose our chances this time. The stars do not promise another birth for over a century, and the Brotherhood grows impatient. I have been in contact with the parents, and they understand our interest and purpose. I expect no interference from that quarter. He is the typical short-sighted man of business, and his company is already benefiting from his decision. They will be quite content, I think. I'll bring with me a present, a gift from the Brotherhood for your invaluable services. It is a pair of spectacles that I have constructed. I will instruct you in their proper use when I arrive. Hail Yog-Sothoth. Hail Shub-Niggurath. Hail Azathoth. Hail Cthulhu. Baron Hauptmann. Both of the letters are stamped with the postmark of a place called Klausenberg, Romania. I'd like you all to make sand checks, please.
Fail.
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 And that's a fail.
Oof.
And that's a fail. Okay. Everyone who failed, 1d6 sand, please. Scaly Pete, that's 1d3 for you.
Ooh. That's a 6.
Yep. Okay, Professor, make an intelligence check, please.
Actually, first, before I forget, let me
Let's
subtract
see.
this.
Yeah,
Unlike everyone else, the professor understands exactly what's going on in his ears and shit.
Well, this is the one time my intelligence fails me. That's 73, and intelligence is 80.
Okay. I
He's
guess
gone.
this calls for the music to change.
Archie,
Oh, no.
bugger off. Go away. I'm going insane. Leave me alone.
This is the finale here. Looks like the police aren't going to have time to do shit. Okay. Professor, you understand exactly what is happening. This is a cult that is seeking to summon the beast, just as Paul Lamond dreamed. They are seeking to fulfill the wishes of the great race of Yith and extinguish humankind from this planet so they may take their place. You immediately rush over to Scaly Pete and reach into his rucksack, grabbing out the 2 sticks of dynamite. Scaly Pete, you attempt to stop him.
No!
Well, yeah, I would very much like to try and stop him.
Okay, Scaly Pete, make a dex check, please.
I was hoping for a strength check.
Dex check, because you got to be fast.
It's a 14, so that's a hard pass.
Okay, I would like the professor to make a dex check, please.
Please don't beat a 14.
That's a 10.
Are you
Fuck!
fucking kidding me?
He's gonna kill us all.
You reach to pull your rucksack away, but he yanks it off your shoulder, opens it, and rips out the pieces of dynamite. And then he looks at you, his face screwed up in anger, and he says, "We have to put a stop to this." And then he begins tearing down the staircase to the house below.
Oh god, he's gonna suicide bomb himself.
Oh dear
You going-
God.
Are you going to follow him? You're going to follow him?
I know, he seems hell-bent.
You bastards!
I mean, how do we stop this?
Dave
Okay.
just wants to know if everyone else feels the same way, but very kind of a dick lately. Is it such a bad dick?
Wow!
Wow then.
Big Dave with a heart of gold can take no more.
At this point, this is where Big Dave cocks his head and says, "Professor's going to die."
God damn.
Man, this book.
Yeah.
Man, just the
No. Big Dave cocks his head to the side with a twinkle in his eye and says, "Liam, this is what you get for fucking us around this entire fucking scene."
Okay.
Man, bought the farm. Let him be.
You guys gonna follow him or just gonna wait here and...
I think they're hell-bent on just waiting.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to...
I look. Don't get me wrong. I'd like to stop you. At the same time, if I try to follow you and I can't catch you, I'm gonna be like close. We're gonna be like close range to you nuking yourself with fucking dynamite.
I hope
Oh,
you...
you don't have to stop him, but you can, like, follow him just to see what he's gonna do. You know, he may not be about to blow himself up. He may just be going to chuck the dynamite in the well.
Do any of us really believe that?
No, not even close. We should probably at least see where it's going before this goes to shit.
I vote
Right.
we bolt out of the house.
I hope you burn in the house fire.
you can bolt out of the house.
Yeah.
You
Definitely
run
a good idea to get out of the house.
run down the stairs with the professor, even though he has a significant head start on you, and you manage to keep up with him. You pass the master bedroom and continue following him as he sprints downstairs. When he reaches the kitchen, he stops briefly in front of Sarah and then raises his handgun to her face.
Jesus!
Professor, I would like you to make a firearms check, please.
Should we be trying to stop this?
That is a pass.
Oh god.
Yep. Okay, would anyone like to try to stop him?
I will. Big Dave will
Alright.
tackle.
Big Dave, make a dex check, please.
Well, yeah, one way or another, an old person is getting
It's
brought
a
in.
pass.
Alright, Professor, dex check, please.
What do I need to beat? 53.
53. You need a hard pass.
Oh, hard pass for Dex. Okay.
Yes.
Oh my god, open up. Hey, what do you know? That's a hard pass.
Stop
Yep.
doing
I
that.
really
Alright.
think that these people versus people roles should be done on screen.
Yeah, maybe. But
Yeah.
anyway, that's the last one he'll need to do. So from now on, we'll do them on screen. But that was the last one that needed to be done.
Yeah.
Okay, you see, the professor
Fine,
sees
okay,
Big
okay,
Dave.
okay. Well, I'll just do it on here. 1d100.
Right.
Yeah, either way.
That's still hard.
Okay. Compare deck stats, please.
70.
70, and what's yours, Professor?
60.
Big Dave tackles you. Big Dave tackles you, and you fire your gun. We'll roll the damage myself.
Oh shit.
Wait, so you should do
Thing.
a big day.
The bullet grazes Sarah Monju's shoulder. She screams in pain and topples sideways off her chair, letting out a blood-curdling scream. The professor's gun clatters onto the floor. The professor then climbs to his feet and, not even stopping to pick up his gun, screams and barrels towards the front door of
This
the house.
must end now!
I believe we need to evacuate the house.
You're all gonna leave the house. Is anyone gonna bring the old lady with them?
I'll pick up the old lady.
Ah, screw her. She's gonna
Right,
die anyway.
Dave, you need to make a strength check that needs to pass 60. That needs to be, at least 83. Right? You can push it if you like.
The lady technically is fled.
Yeah, there we go.
All right. You lift her up, you hoist her over your shoulder, and then you follow everyone out. You rejoin everyone else as they burst through the front door and watch as the professor sprints across the ground. He stops about 5 meters from the well, and then you watch as he strikes a match, lights both sticks of dynamite, and raises his arm. Professor, make a throw check with disadvantage, please.
With disadvantage, okay.
Why not just drop it down the well?
I'm insane.
He's insane.
That's a 28. And that's 27.
Okay, so what is your throw?
My throw is 20.
All right, that's a fail. Okay, this is a combat roll now, so he hurls the sticks of dynamite. They don't land in the well. They land just in the grass in front of the well. And then the professor covers his ears as the fuse burns down, and then bang! You watch as the stone of the well is shattered and debris and dirt go flying into the air. Then I'd like you all to make listen checks, please. Except the professor. He's insane enough to hear this without.
That's fail.
Fail.
Oh, pass.
Pass. I'll see if Clark Kent passes. Okay, so everyone except for Big Dave. You hear.
He does have a bleeding old lady on over his shoulder.
Yeah. She's screaming in pain and terror. You hear emanating from the destroyed well, from the crater that the professor has made in the earth, a terrible, terrible roar. Ooh! Like a shriek of something that is simultaneously angry and scared. And then there's movement. See something beginning to emerge from the remnants of the well, and something
Dynamite down there when I had the chance.
Something climbs up and pulls itself out of the well.
All right, can we pause for a sec? I've been holding on to go for a pee.
Yep. Go. Yep.
Yeah. I've been robbed. I should just drop the sticks of the dynamite the first time we.
Yep. Hindsight's a bitch.
Well, I didn't think the old bastard was going to go insane and nick my fucking dynamite, the prick.
This is going to be bad for the professor, I think.
Well, yes, we kind of assumed that was the case when he
Saying.
Right, I'm back.
Where the
Right.
old lady?
Right now, let's okay, there is movement, and then something terrible begins to pull itself out of the destroyed well into the grounds. Jeremy, mon Dieu.
Oh.
Jeremy is a white, glistening blob, about 4 feet in diameter, moving in amoeba-like fashion. Jeremy constantly hurls forward with his thick body, throwing out small pseudopods that end in toothless human mouths, complete with lips, with these little teeth gnash as Jeremy prepares to feed. Would like all of you to make sand checks,
Except
please,
me.
except the professor. Yes.
Oh, fail.
Fail.
Oh my god.
Oh, damn.
I'm super fail.
Okay.
Oh wow!
Right. Everyone who failed, 2d6 sand, please. And everyone who passed, 1d3.
I lose 6.
Oh, no.
2 and... Oh, okay. Okay. Clark Kempf, make an intelligence check, please. And also, Scaly Pete, make an intelligence check.
No. Oh, no, no,
This ain't gonna
no.
go well. You dumb fucked us all.
Oh, that's a pass for Clark Kempf.
Oh, dear.
That means Clark Kempf, you go temporarily insane. Scaly
Suck
Pete,
it,
how
I
did you
fail.
go? Right, Scaly Pete. Scaly
Wow.
Pete manages to maintain
Useful, yeah.
control of his faculty. Okay, the first thing Clark Kempf does is screams and pulls out his camera, attempting to capture the monster on film. This
UFO,
is going to see your
UFO.
name emblazoned across the papers. Clark Kempf, make a hard photography check, please.
I was gonna say, just looks at it
Wow.
and starts screaming UFO. UFO! UFO!
And that's a pass.
Woo!
Snap. Begin. You walk forward and you hunch over with your camera, and you guys watch as Clark Kempf, his eyes glued to the camera, clicks, and you hear him muttering under his breath, "Oh yeah, that's the money shot. That's the money shot."
Oh, yeah. Here's a pretty girl.
Meanwhile, Jeremy's huge amoeba-like body lurches forwards, and he lashes out with his mouthy pseudopods at the professor. Professor, make a dodge check, and I sure hope you don't fail.
Oh.
This will kill you.
Professor is going to die.
He's a professor.
The
Alright.
professor is going to be next to me.
That fell off. That is, what's, dodge check, was it?
Yep, dodge.
Oh, that's a fucking fail off by 10.
Bye-bye.
Right. Well, there's still a chance for Jeremy to fail his roll. And Jeremy gets to roll with advantage. I forgot about that. Anyone who's close to him, who has seen him and is insane, he gets to roll with advantage. So.
Oh, that's.
Oh.
Oh no!
Oh, no, Professor,
okay.
no!
That's me.
No, Professor!
Professor stands there, and then the professor just seems to. Professor just seems to stand there as the creature lurches forwards. It's
Okay, hold
multiple-
on 1 sec. The stream just went blank.
Whoops.
Okay.
Brain can handle him.
I can. It's all right. They don't need to see the rolls. You can just hear what happens. Okay. It lurches forwards. Its multiple mouths gnashing, and you watch as the professor just seems to stare, too paralyzed to do anything. And then, when the creature is barely half a meter away from him, you see his mouth begin to open. He is lucid once again, and in his moment of clarity, he begins to scream and starts to turn around. But then, the 2 tentacles grab him, their mouths biting into his flesh. The tentacles raise him up, holding him up in the air, and as he squirms, Jeremy's other pseudopods lash out and latch onto the professor's body. And then you watch as blood begins to pour out of his body into the creature's mouths. You watch as you can see the bulges moving down the tentacles as his blood enters their throat. And
Well,
Professor takes 7 points of damage,
He's
and
dead.
then his lifeless, bloodless, pale husk of a body is tossed aside, the bite marks glistening with yellow mucus.
well, fuck.
Damn.
Okay.
You are dead.
I am
Okay.
dead.
Okay. Big Dave and Scaly Pete, what are your dex ratings?
70.
70.
50.
Right. Big Dave, you're up. What would you like to do?
Big Dave's gonna throw Bob.
Right.
Give him hell, Bob. Give him hell.
Right. You reach for the final stick of dynamite, the one that you bought. Make a throw check, please.
Bought a stick of dynamite.
I'm pretty sure you
Go
did
with
last
that.
week, and you didn't. I'm pretty sure you guys bought one last week.
Yeah,
It
we
was
did.
you.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, it's a throw check, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, why does the Discord...
Swallow this, you piece of shit.
Let's see. And was that a pass or a fail?
It's passed.
Oh no. Yep. Okay. You reach for a match and you strike the match, lighting the fuse, and then you walk forward and you sort of bait one of Jeremy's pseudopods as it gnashes out towards you, and then you hurl the stick of dynamite. Dynamite flails through the air and lands grasped in the gnashing teeth. I would now like Big Dave to make a dodge check, please.
Yeah, this thing's gonna go splat.
Oh,
Oh, dear.
Okay.
That's
And
I
bad.
can't use luck either, can I?
you can't.
Oh no, Big Dave, no! Are you going to upset
Okay.
everyone?
It's okay though, because you throw the dynamite and watch as it lands in the gnashing teeth, and then you weave out of the way as more tentacles fly towards you. One of them latches onto your arm and begins to bite into your flesh.
Oh no.
Take 3 points of damage, and then you rip the mouth away. Blood begins to drip off the ground, and you turn around and run back to the front of the house. Scaly Pete, you're up.
Okay, well, I'm really fucking glad I bought this bow now, because I do not wish to get anywhere near this goddamn thing. So, since someone went and nicked all my dynamite, I'm gonna have to go. The gun might go off and hurt this.
I can't hear you, I'm dead!
Good.
Oh.
You're getting an opinion.
Alright, make a fighting brawl check, please. As you knock an arrow on your bow and pull the string.
Yeah, that's a hard pass.
That's a hard pass. Thunk! You fire an arrow at the writhing, terrible mass, and the arrow strikes Jeremy on his flat, sallow, inhuman face. Roll the damage, please.
Alrighty then. That is 11 all up.
11 all up. Good. That's a good amount of damage. Okay, Clark Kempf, I'd like you to make a power check, please.
Power. All right. Just check the
Oh,
Wi-Fi.
first if he snaps out of being nuts.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go take a quick break while we're...
And that's a pass. Having snapped your money shot photo, Clark Kempf, you regain control of your faculties. What would you like to do?
All right. So to the left. So who's currently engaged in combat? Is it the?
Everyone except you, because you were you were taking photos of it in your insanity. Liam is dead, and a burning stick of dynamite is clasped in one of the creature's tentacles.
So it probably was. I was just start taking shots with my gun.
I would like you to make a firearms check, please.
Let's do this.
56.
I can
You
use
fire.
my luck.
No, because it's a combat roll. But don't worry, you raise your gun and you fire at the advancing monstrosity. You miss the face in the center of its mass. But make a luck check, please.
Alright.
Is that a pass?
That is a pass.
Okay. You feel your heart sink as you know almost immediately that your bullet is off center. But then, in a sheer moment of good luck, the tentacle grasping the dynamite lashes out to the sides, trying to pull the creature forwards. And you watch as your bullet strikes the stick of dynamite.
Ooh.
There is a spark, and then boom! The dynamite explodes. I'd like you to roll 1d100, please.
Oh, damn.
Oh, please roll fucking high.
And it lands on 1.
For once, just roll.
Okay, fair.
Fuck this thing right up.
No.
Yeah.
79. Let's have a look. Boom! And then
Look,
you watch.
alien everywhere.
You watch as the creature's mass explodes in a shower of gore, tentacles, and yellow mucus begins to rain down on the mansion grounds. I would like all three of you to make a sand check, please.
Oof.
Oh, that's a pass.
Pass. Fail. And okay. Okay, those who failed, 1d3 sand, please. Those who passed, you're fine.
1d3. Sheesh.
Oh shit, that's 3.
Oh, 1d3, okay.
The gore and viscera rains down onto the grounds, and there, all that remains of Jeremy are all of his tentacles writhing separately, gnashing at the air. They twitch and they writhe, and one of them opens. It rides up and opens its mouth and shrieks. It ceases to move. Have killed Jeremy.
But at what cost?
Of the professor. Now, you survived the scenario. Notice beside you as Sarah looks up and watches the monstrosity die, and then she simply mutters, poor baby, and collapses to the ground, weeping in sadness and anguish. Have survived. You have put an end to the child murders and destroyed Jeremy. Police arrive several minutes later and observe the chaos in the manor grounds. The four of you left alive explain to the best of your ability what has happened, and if it were not for
honest.
Yeah, you're being honest, and if it were not for some photos that Clark Kemp promised were on his camera that would serve as proof, they may not have believed you. Hell, they may not believe you. But just the same, they let you leave the grounds. Detective Brick debriefs you the next day in his office. He offers a personal thank you for putting an end to the chaos, but then states that case file is to be closed and never ever opened again. He leans forward and he asks, I trust that none of you will speak of what happened.
And then I look back at him and I
Says this
say,
is just more
I'm a
fucked up shit we
reporter.
want to forget.
What do you say, everyone?
I'm a mandated reporter. I will omit some findings. That is all I can say.
He shrugs and he says, he slaps his hands together and he says, I wash my hands of this. Whatever terror unfolded over the past week, never want to deal with it ever again. Says, good luck, and may God have mercy on us all.
Where we going? God's got nothing to do with it.
Miss Mondieu is assessed by healthcare workers within the next week. You were informed that she is almost entirely senile with dementia and barely understands what happened. There is some talk over perhaps holding her accountable for the lives that Jeremy took, but in the end it is decided that a woman in her state did not know what was happening, and rather than being arrested, she is merely committed to an asylum where you are told she will spend what is left of her days. You take a few moments in your hotel in Boston as you pack up your stuff and prepare for the long journeys back to your homes as you go about your separate ways. You raise a glass to toast the professor, and you decide that what you have been through is just the beginning. In Ambrose's study, in his diary, you learned of the Brotherhood, of some of their plans, and of their leader, Baron Hauptmann. You even got a location, Klausenberg, Romania. And with that, your next destination set. It's the end of this scenario. Okay, everyone who survived so this is specifically for Clark Kemp for preventing the dimensional shambler from entering the real world. You gain 1d6 sanity.
Ooh, well done.
Oh wow! Wait, so you actually retain the same sanity?
Yes, you gain 1d6 sanity as
Wow.
As a reward. And so we'll see how much he gets. Ooh, well, that's better than nothing. And then the other three of you each gain 1d10 sanity for putting an end to Jeremy and discovering the next step along your path against the Brotherhood. 8.
Need to let you guys know at the end of this particular thing before we add anything. I was down to 27 sanity.
Oh damn!
Excuse me, damn. Okay, so M1, you get to roll a D10 because you get this sanity as well.
Oh, awesome. 10.
Yeah, I was just burning. Oh, nice. Damn.
Beautiful. That puts me up to what?
You gained 12 sanity alone.
Nice.
49?
Yeah, that's good. That's 12 sanity you've gained altogether. Furthermore, I would like the four of you to please make luck checks. And if you fail, you may add 2d6 to your luck.
Yes, fail.
That's a pass for Dan Cooper. Sorry, Dan.
Neither of those were a pass. Neither of those were a fail for me.
All right, so that's fine. So only M2 gets some luck here. Okay.
Right?
Yeah, 2d6.
Oh shit! I got 11 luck out of that.
Oh damn!
Oh, that's good. You each gain 5 points in Cthulhu Mythos.
Great.
And 15 points to assign to your skills however you wish.
I think I'm going to chuck them all in first aid.
Furthermore, I would like, Scaly Pete, you have the opportunity to study Ambrose's diary even further in your downtime. Would you like to do this?
Yes, I would.
All right. I would like you to make a speak Cajun check, please.
Hey, I love that that's a thing. Yeah, that's just a pass.
Okay. First of all, you lose 1d3 san.
Yeah, well, that can't win everything. It's 2 back. Oh.
But you then gain 1d6 Cthulhu Mythos points,
Hey, works for me.
and you learn a spell, which has been written in Ambrose's diary. And this spell is... I will just find it in the book. 242. Okay, you learn the spell Less Blade.
Oh.
What is it?
Less-
Blade.
Less Blade. It costs 5 power points. Not MP, power points. And it costs 1d4 sanity.
Okay, what does it do? I'm curious as hell.
And what it does is it creates a blade capable of damaging or killing entities that cannot be harmed by mundane weapons, such as extra-dimensional entities. Requires the blood sacrifice.
That's right.
Yes. Requires the blood sacrifice of an animal of at least size 50. The blade of the knife must be of an elemental metal such as iron or silver. The blade may be of any size. After this spell is cast, the blade gains this property permanently.
Oh, wow.
The cost is 5 power.
And 1d6
power. Yeah. And you also have to sacrifice an animal of at least size 50.
So what's a size 50 animal?
Like a large deer or a bear or something like that. Yep. And furthermore, Clark Kempf, you've got some photos. You've documented everything that's happened in this session. Would you like to develop these photos, add them to your notes, and study them to see if you glean anything?
Oh, absolutely.
I'd like you to make a photography check, please.
Will do. Roll D100.
Oh, yep, that's a pass. You develop the photos, and to your pleasure, you discover that they are all clear, some of them showing clear evidence of the supernatural. You may gain 1d6 Cthulhu Mythos points.
Oh, fuck. Wrong window. Oh my god. Fucking disappear. No. Okay. Alright, what am I doing? D6.
Yep.
1d6, and you add that to your Cthulhu Mythos skill.
Oh, well. Okay, roll 1d6. Yoo-hoo.
Not
So
bad.
that's, it's your Cthulhu Mythos skill is slowly climbing. And that is all the rewards for this session, episode 2 of the Day of the Beast.
Yay!
Alright.
Alright,
Next,
Keeper,
I was just about to say, would you like to give a sneak peek of what's going to happen next week? I'm just about to. Next week, in episode 3, Castle Dark, you make good on this new lead you have acquired and travel to Klausenberg, Romania, where you will discover the terrible headquarters of Baron Hauptmann in the rural mountains of Transylvania, and you'll penetrate his castle of darkness, hoping to find any clues that can help you understand this brotherhood and put a stop to their plans.
And put a stop to the missing journalists.
Yes, and discover... Yes, you're getting one step closer to that.
Jesus.
That'll be in next week's episode, Castle Dark.
Yay!
Thank you, Dale.
And
Okay.
Big Dave lives another day.
Yes, he does.
Big Dave.
Yeah, Big Dave. Big Dave was
Dave's
hopefully the
throat
professor
hurts
died
like
horribly.
hell. Oh, I can't keep doing the voice. My throat is killing me.
I know.
No.
But you played well, and the professor, well, we don't talk about the professor, but he had a good run.
He did have a good
Professor
run.
did not have a good day.
Tried to
I'm not dead.
tried to go
Yeah.
out in a blaze of glory.
Instead, he went out with a bane.
No,
The professor died from his own stupidity.
Yeah, had you just simply dropped the dynamite in the well, you probably could have ended and got started.
But I was too crazy.
I don't think it was just that. It also came back to the fact that he shouldn't have put the fucking glasses on.
Yeah, basically. The glasses was the beginning of the end for him.
Yep.
But good thing he did put them on, because Clark Kempf now has a photograph interdimensional entities.
Yep.
Yeah. And now
Okay, so we have to rename this camera.
Yeah.
So you can put
It's
that
the
on your
camera
screen.
it's the camera obscura.
1000.
I was gonna say, so here's a camera that can see entities from an alternate dimension, and I potentially have a blade that can kill them.
Yep.
One time.
Your
Fun,
path is your
Dude,
path is
I just
laid
pointed
before
out,
you.
You stab them.
Yeah. He
You
he
ain't my
tells you
fault.
where to stab, you stab. Big Dave
That's it,
cheers you
that's it.
on.
Stab.
Yep.
I have no idea what's going on, but it sounds cool.
Over there, by the door, quick, stab.
Oh shit.
Big Dave is giving you emotional support.
All right, I'll be back. Unless if you got
And-
anything you'd
just-
wish to say to the crowd.
Just want to say thank you to the stream for tuning in, and we hope you'll join us next week for the next episode in Day of the Beast.
Also D&D. Don't forget Dungeons. and
Also
Dragons.
D&D. Don't forget D&D on Thursday.
And also all my other streams.
Yeah, and also Liam's non-role-playing streams that we're not in.
Who cares about that?
Yes, because those are so much more exciting.
Well, it is because I'll be doing Last of Us Part
I
2
don't have
after
any
this.
friends.
Yeah, I've seen it all.
All right, I'll be back in a sec.
Alright, yep.
Wait.
Alright guys, there you have it. Episode 2 of Day of the Beast. I hope you all had fun. F in the chat for Professor. Long may he die in insanity. But no, thank you for everyone. Thank you for the new followers today. Much thank you. If you... Well, you can't stick around because I'll be in the stream. I will be taking a short break, have something to eat, go to the toilet. Then I will be back with some Last of Us Part 2. Thank you again, everyone. Everyone, long live Dave. Dave lives on. But no, thank you so much, guys. And I will see you guys in about an hour. But until then, if you haven't, hit that like, sub, and follow button and come join me on the Discord. And I will see you guys sooner rather than later. Till then.